everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight NL. And joined in the commentary box, I am this evening by Adrian. Good evening, Adrian.
Evening, Eddie. How are we doing? You sound a little bit croaky today.
It's husky. It's husky.
Husky.
That's husky. Sexy voice. Anyway, let's not crack on. Let's have, oh dear, we've got a little bit of a faux pas there. Don't know why. It seems to have gone straight to the map. Oh, I love this. Right, bear with me 1 second while I get that sorted out. Adrian, I'm sure you can do a little bit of small talk while I get a few things done here.
That's it. Put me in the spotlight.
Yeah,
what I might do is I could talk about my race on Tuesday in F1 Tonight UK.
No, it's okay. Bit. It's okay. I've got it sorted out now.
All right. Okay.
Funnily enough, it sort of got sorted out very quickly. Okay, so championship. Nicky Visser leading the way on 101 points. Second place is teammate Boy Williamson on 54. Third, Damie Hartman for Toro Rosso, also on 54. 4 is Baz Denbrain, one for McLaren on 50. 5, Zander Hermans for Rocket Williams. 6, his teammate Marcel Dronig for Rocket Williams. 7, John Donkel for Ferrari. 8, Hans van der Berg for Toro Rosso. 9, Guido Urschen for McLaren. 10, Peter Phillips for Haas. Then we have the 11, Jamie Collane for Mercedes. He's swapped over to Mercedes. He carries his points there, as there are no other drivers within Racing Point, so he's on 18. Then we have Mark Stappers for Ferrari on 16. Number 13 is Nishay Mahadwa Singh for Renault. 14 is Martin Pardakuper for Alfa Romeo. His teammate Miguel Torni is 15. Then we have 16, Marcel France for Renault. 17, Paul Poiret for Haas. And 18, we have Yul Tyson, new driver for Mercedes. So welcome, Yul. Let's hope you have a great race. And obviously, 1920 to Racing Point, not an awful lot going on there at this moment in time. Adrian, well, I mean, if we look at that leaderboard, Red Bull totally dominating the Netherlands League in this early part of the season, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Nicky won the last 4 races in a row. In fact, he got 1 point Australia and then 100 from the next 4. Yeah, absolutely stonking display from him so far. Williamson, though, under massive pressure for that P2 spot, he's now tied on points with Damie. And Baz Denbrain as well, and the 4 points behind them, and Zander Hermans. In fact, it's pretty close for that. Spot.
It is really close. I mean, let's be honest, only 14 points dividing 7th and 2nd place at this moment in time. Really good, really close on that midfield, as we can see there. And even towards the back of the grid, still very, very close indeed. So I've got to say, it's all looking pretty good overall. But this dominance that Red Bull have got at this moment in time is absolutely phenomenal, I've got to say. Yeah, very good indeed. And obviously, as we go across to the Constructors' Championship, we can see that reflected. Obviously, Red Bull on 155 points. Second place, Rocket Williams are on 87, nearly half away, effectively. Then we have Toro Rosso on 84, and you can see how close it is there between those two teams. McLaren very close behind those, 72. Ferrari in there with 45. Then we have Haas on 19, Mercedes on 18, Renault on 6, Alfa Romeo on 2, and obviously Racing Point 0 at this moment in time. Okay, let's have a look at the track. We had a little sneak preview of it a couple of minutes ago. This is the Circuit de Monaco. Iconic track, full of history. You can see practically all the corners are named there. So it's a tough track, this, isn't it? I mean, this is, they call it the driver's track, and they do it for a good reason, don't they, Adrian?
Yeah, that's right. It's definitely a favourite among real life drivers. Perhaps not so much in the F1 community. I know that lots of pad users typically don't like this track. I know I hated it on the pad, but obviously can't speak for everyone. But yeah, switching over to the wheel, it's become sort of much more of a favourite of mine now. You're able to get into a bit of a flow, and yeah, and racing so close to the barriers, it does it does feel really, really good. It's probably the one where you really kind of feel the speed, or you get this sort of sense of speed.
Yeah, I mean, I often talk and spoken before about the tempo of a track, almost like a tune, like you know listening or playing music. I mean, if I were to give the tempo of this track, I think it would have to be a pretty heavy drum and bass.
Absolutely, it's non-stop thrash, I suppose.
Yeah. Fresh probably wouldn't be too far away from it. Right, let's have a look at this turn one. Circuit length first. Got to get that right. So it's 3.37 kilometres circuit length. The total race length is 260, just over kilometres. And we're looking at 78 laps. It is phenomenal. Turn one, we got a little clip here of Saint-Devoux. And if we cut to this, you can see this is off the start-finish line. Start of the race, car crosses the line there. It's just chaotic, isn't it, on that start grid and the first, certainly the start grid into that first corner of Saint-Devoux, isn't it?
Oh yeah, massive. That's a brilliant graphic there, by the way. I remember that fairly well. That's it's such a difficult corner, especially on the first lap. You got cars just backed right up. Everyone knows that it's so difficult to overtake at Monaco. You know, so track position is so vitally important. So it's really important. You do actually get a really good turn one. Might see drivers making some early lunges, perhaps.
Yeah, indeed. That's turn one, Saint-Devoux. As you go uphill, you then go to Beau Rivage. It's more of a kink than a corner, and if you get the line right, you can basically just go straight in a straight line, really, can't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's. I wouldn't really consider that a turn myself.
No, true. Then you come up to turn three, where you're going to start hard braking and going into a hard left. You've got to watch it because the apex isn't as you start to turn in. And that's turn three, Masnet. That brings you then into the Casino Square, which is turn four, which is then downhill towards the first sort of tricky corner, I guess. But before you do that, obviously you come to the end of sector one, so you're starting sector two. So you come to Mirabeau Haut. Then you come right down to that horrible Grand Hotel hairpin. As you go out, you've then got the right hand, which can easily catch you out, and that's Mirabeau Basse. Again, got a little shot here, and this is of Bottas this year. So pay attention. Let's see how he gets around that hairpin. Absolutely fantastic there, obviously. A wonderful power slide from Bottas. But it's a great shot of that set of three corners, 5, 6 and 7, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's a perfect perfect example of how to get around that corner in style. That's, brilliant. It's actually also the slowest corner on any F1 circuit. At just 30 miles an hour, it's 51 kilometers per hour.
I can believe it. I feel like when I go round it, I should get out and push. You then come down to the tricky right-hander of Poitiers, which leads you into the long turn 9, which is the tunnel. You then exit downhill towards turns 10, 11. That's the Nouvelle chicane. Again, really tricky, isn't it? When you're coming at that high speed out of the tunnel to judge your braking as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so important to get your sort of position right on track as you're coming out of the tunnel into that turn 10. So as to not compromise your exit of 11, because that's where you can make up some solid time right there.
Absolutely. Then we come down to the sort of, I call the high-speed end, basically, of Sector 2. You've got the left-hander to back where you start to wind it up, and then you can go through 13, 14, really high speed. And again, I've got a lovely shot here of Hamilton coming through that chicane. You can see the speed that you carry through there, and he's using the apex of that turn 14 on the rumble strip to help him guide the car through there, isn't he?
Yeah, it's another fine example of Mercedes doing it in style. But I had a driver say to me, not in this league, in another league, say to me that with Monaco, nothing really ever happens until sector 3. It's like the first half or first 2 sectors of the circuit is fairly sort of quite slow pace, and then as soon as you come past the Nouvelle chicane onwards, it's kind of really high speed. You're really close to the wall, and you're really on the limits of what the cars can do.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't agree more. Then we come to 15-16, but before that, you end Sector 2 and you're coming into Sector 3. So Sector 3, first 2 turns are 15 and 16. That's a swimming pool complex. A tricky high-speed turn, but it's the exit you've got to watch out of 16. And again, got a shot here of, I'm pretty sure that's Max Verstappen in 18. Coming through there and going into that barrier on the right-hand side. That's how not to do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect example there again. It's really nice you're putting Max Verstappen up in the Dutch league race.
Wrecking his
crashing
car
into a wall.
I'm just, it's a sign of things to come, I think, for tonight, but we will see what happens. It's a tricky track. Then, obviously, you get the DRS detection zone. So that's as you come out of 16, you come up to Rascasse, really hard uphill, almost, it is a hairpin, into 18, 19, Anthony Nogues. You then obviously come over the start-finish line, but that is where the one and only DRS is, which is effectively activates as you exit turn 19 and takes you up past the pit exit down towards Saint-Deveau. Right, so that's our track. The guys are now on track. We do have 16 runners and riders with us this evening. Adrian, if you could just run us through there what the score is and why we've got 16 drivers and 15 out on track and why it's going to be a bit of a test session while I get set up.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so a few drivers missing. Obviously, we've got 18 drivers in the league, but Paul Correa is not able to attend, so he'll be sitting this one out. And just bear with me while I find out who the other one was. It was Marcel France. Marcel France, yes, that's right. So both those won't be racing tonight. Mark Stappers is in at the moment, right? So we were aware that he wasn't perhaps going to be able to make it into quali. So yeah, good to see that he has made it, which means there's one more driver who hasn't, because I thought it was him that was sitting out this session. Anyway, it's the drivers. Yeah. Not sure what's happened there.
You'll get it, mate. You'll get it. Right, let's have a quick look out on track. So yeah, we've got 15 drivers. No, they're all there. Oh no, they're not, because your Tyson's gone out, hasn't he? Yeah, we do have one missing. We'll come to that. We'll figure that out in due course, I'm sure. So we're on board this moment in time with Mark Stappers. Just coming into Poitiers now. Boy Williamson so far setting the fastest laps. Have a quick look at that. 1:11.845. He's in the pits. 1:12 from Nishay Mahadwasingh again. Good qualifying there from Nishay. Good to see. Guido Urshan again. Great qualification. 1:12. Hans van der Berg 1:13. Nicky Visser 1:13.2. Marcel Dronig 1:13.24. Zander Hermans 1:13.4. Stappers 1:13.6. Who we're with now. Let's watch him as he comes round Rascasse into 18, 19, Anthony Nogues. Opens up that DRS. Let's see what he can do. Doesn't better his time there, obviously. He's going for a fast lap now by the looks of it. Let's have a look who else we've got on a fast lap. Basden Brand. This is looking pretty good, actually. Basden Brand coming round now in the McLaren. Sets a 1:11.634. Puts him up into first place. Good run there from McLaren driver. See, that's what I was talking about there on that turn 2. As you come through Beau Rivage. Down now.
As you touched on earlier on, drivers are perhaps going to be using this session as a bit of a practice, because everyone will be through, with the exception of Seizoen, who has to disqualify himself because this is his debut race as per the F1 Tonight rules.
Indeed, any rookie driver on their first race starts at the back of the grid. This is something that has been born out of, let's say, multiplayer experience and league experience. So, but he'll be there in the next one. And that McLaren, I don't know what's happening. Is he just slowed down to let the Red Bull through? I'm not too sure if that's Boy Williamson or that's actually Nicky Visser, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just. I think he's just creating. I think he's creating some space.
Oh, and he's lost some wing. Visser's lost wing as he came out of 15. Sorry, out of 14 actually. Hit the barrier there. He's straight into the pits. So that was his outlap. Straight into the pits. New nose.
Yeah. Yeah, not ideal for the championship leader there. I mean, he's over 50 points, almost 50 points ahead of second. But yeah, it's a bit. I don't often see that. See someone going to the water.
Coming round now in his new colours in the Mercedes there. Sets a 1:18.8. Somewhat off pace. John Donkel in the pits. Miguel Torney is out as well in the Alpha. It's just come around Casino, heading down to Mirabeau. Good little run here.
It looks like Jamie is actually running high fuel loads because he's done 3 consecutive hot laps at the moment. So yeah, he might just be getting in some race laps, I suppose.
Trying to get in as much practice as he can, because I mean, this is, I've got to say, it's an incredibly difficult track. I actually set up my rig the other day and went round and can't remember what time. I think I set a 1:20, if I remember rightly, which I was quite happy with. But I see these times, I'm like, how the hell do you do that? And yet we've got somebody in the league. I won't mention any names. But not in this one. Who's actually set a 1:08 on a time trial. He's in the top 20 worldwide.
Wow.
I mean, that is just phenomenal. And you know, I mean, you know, it looks great, obviously, as we're looking at it from these broadcast cameras. But, you know, when you look at it from the cockpit and quickly shoot to a cockpit view here with Miguel, you just get to understand the complexity of this track. You say, I mean, look, you're going 30 kilometres round that hairpin corner. And I've got to say, Miguel Torney navigating this rather well. Let's hope the commentator's curse doesn't come into play. Oh, nearly. He's just letting somebody by there. Whew, I breathe a sigh of relief. But it is such a complex track in so many ways. And the thing is, 78 laps. You know, we talked about Baku. Baku, obviously, an incredibly tricky street circuit. And a great addition to the F1 circuit. Monaco has been there basically since the year dot. But it is the most complex track, and I can understand why the drivers like it from a driver's challenge point of view.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as you say, it is the oldest circuit on the calendar. It actually predates Formula One itself. First Monaco Grand Prix was 1927, and F1 didn't actually begin until 1950.
Yeah, it was one of those iconic tracks that was even there before the FIA in so many ways. I was actually looking at shots for the intro during the course of the week, and I was going to put in some vintage shots, because some beautiful, fantastic vintage shots, particularly of Raskas with the old 50s sort of cigar racing cars. Phenomenal. Absolutely looked, well, not even 50s, would have been sort of probably, early 50s.
Yeah, the tracks remained pretty much unchanged as well in that sort of 92 year history. Not many tracks you can say that about in any discipline.
Just having a look, Visser is out on track now. I think he could he must be going on his out lap. So
I've noticed Hans Vanderberg has retired from the session. I did see some yellow flags at the same time that he retired, but I haven't seen his car on track. So it might just be a coincidence that those two things happened at the same time. But if they're not a coincidence, i.e., if it was him crashing out, he will not be able to participate in the rest of quali.
No, and that would put him. Well, that would put him. Let me see. Well, John Donkel hasn't even gone. I don't know if John Donkel's retired out of the session. Actually, I don't know if he's got technical issues there. We'll have to check into that. How's Nicky's sector time looking? It's not looking great at this moment in time, but
it's an improvement on his previous lap. It's quite a significant improvement. In fact, I think he's going to go P3 with this time.
Looking rather wobbly through Louis Chiron and the swimming pool there.
Yeah, P5 in the end.
P5,
couple of tenths lost in the final sector.
Yeah, I don't think this is a track that, certainly from the chat we've had, he's not as confident on this track, is he, Adrian?
Well, he said that about Spain, and he won. So I take what Nicky says with a pinch of salt these days.
Yeah, fair point, actually. Fair point. We are still riding on board with Nicky. Just waiting to see who else is that. Damie Hartman's actually gone out. I don't know if he's actually.
Yeah, that was in the pit, I believe.
That's in the pits. So this is, I mean, as I say, it is 2 seconds remaining. So it is a bit of a test session, really. So all the drivers will be going through.
Mark Stappers actually did 5 laps in that qualifying session as well, so he's obviously preparing himself well.
Now, this is the thing, Adrian. Obviously, 78 laps, it's a hell of a distance on this track. I mean, the guys are going to be absolutely shattered, I'm sure, at the end of it. Thank God it's not got the humidity of somewhere like Singapore to add to that complexity. But it's going to be a hard slog for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a real sort of test of their stamina. The silver lining, I suppose, is that it's not actually raining. There's no rain is expected for the race either, so we're unlikely to reach that 2 hour 2 hour barrier, because obviously no race can last longer than 2 hours, or indeed 305 kilometres.
But we're not counting the potential of a safety car.
No, we're not. No, which about an 80% chance of a safety car on the circuit as well. So
yeah, so we'll see how that pans out. Then Brian 111, Williamson 111. So
yep.
We're looking at that, and they're all on the softs there. So
yeah. But yeah, again, they all know that they're through, so you're not really quite sure how hard each driver was pushing. It's pretty much like a third practice this session. So we'll see the first of the cards of their hand played in this Q2.
Yeah, indeed. So we're just waiting now. Here we go. Q2 now started. So just under 15 minutes now remaining of that. I'm just going to have a look and see what the guys have. They've all gone for the softs, and that was the next one I was going to come on to. Tyre selection. Obviously, they do have 3 tyres. The white wall hard tyre, the yellow walled medium tyre, and the red walled soft tyre. All the guys currently fitted with the softs, but that said...
fewer mediums now.
Oh yeah, I was just going to have a look and see, because I was sure a few of them would change. Mediums, obviously. What about the hard?
Well, I think the risk here is that because it's so important to get good track positions, especially early on, I don't think many drivers will want to even risk not going through into Q3, because if they're starting outside of the top 10, yes, okay, they'll have nice fresh tyres to start on, but they'll have so many cars in front of them and so little room to actually try and get past them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see sort of many of the drivers actually try and get through this on the soft just to play it safe. We're seeing some mediums now, but I think ultimately we'll see most of the drivers starting on the soft tyre.
So on that basis, obviously they'll be looking to start on the soft. So you think, are they looking at a one stop here, soft to medium? Surely not, because the tyres aren't going to stand it.
No,
it's a two pit stop, isn't it?
It will be, yeah, it will be a two-stop strategy. Soft to hard works quite well as well if they do actually want to do a one-stop. Hard tyre's not too bad around here. But yeah, soft medium is the expected strategy for most drivers, I'd say.
So soft, medium. I'm sure there's going to be those that are going to try soft, medium, soft, or indeed medium, soft. So there is quite a range of possibilities, and maybe some of those at the back might look to start on those hard tyres to try and minimise. On that basis, if somebody does start on a hard tyre, is a hard medium strategy possible?
Yeah, hard medium is probably the safest of the strategies. Guarantees you pretty much that you'll only have to stop the once, obviously unless you have to come in for a new wing. The drivers will probably prefer a one stop over a two stop here at Monaco, because as I said, it's track position is just vital.
Yeah, it is. And this is the other thing, is obviously overtaking possibilities. They're few and far between. Obviously, there's only one DRS. There's a very good reason for that, because that's the only straight you have. Okay, you've got the exit out of obviously Nouveau Chicane, going down towards Tabac, but that's not really much. It is tough to overtake, and most of the overtakes safe area is on that DRS straight, isn't it? On the start-finish straight.
Yeah, and even saying that, it's actually the shortest DRS straight in the F1 calendar. It's the shortest start and finish straight as well on the calendar. So yeah, very few opportunities for overtaking, even under that DRS. Probably most likely will be out of the tunnel.
Well, at this moment in time, Nicky Visser setting the fastest time, 1:12.1. Damie Hartman, 1:12.3. That's interesting. Soft to medium there. Sander Hermans, 1:12.3. Guido Urschen, 1:12.4. Niché's there. Let's have a look.
Niché's actually lost part of his wing, hit the wall at turn 1. So expect him to come in.
Yeah, he should be coming
before he completes this lap.
Let's have a look who else. That's it. That's all we've got out there. Damie Hartman, I think, was the first to actually set a lap.
Oh, Niché's staying out with that broken wing. He's probably, I think he's setting a banker lap.
It's not too bad. It's on the front left.
No, he's aborted it.
Well, I don't know if he's aborted it or if he's just moving aside there. I think he was a bit concerned there was somebody coming through, and again he's trying to get in close, let that car through. Yeah, and that's the Alfa Romeo, I think. That's Miguel Tourné. Yes, it is Miguel Tourné, because he is the only Alfa out on track at this moment in time. Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, I suppose you need to get that practice in with some sort of damage. I know it does sound a bit crazy, but there is value in what he's doing. You could say he needs to come in, but again, it lets him know how that car's handling under those particular sort of aerodynamic conditions, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. The benefit of that is twofold, really. As you say, he's experiencing the car with affected downforce. But not only that, but he's set that lap time stat, so he crossed the line to set that 1:12.8. Actually, there's a that's Jules Dyson.
Yeah, it's Jules Dyson. Yeah, no, I don't think it was actually. That was Jamie Collane.
That was
Jamie Collane.
Tyson's not in it.
Yeah, I was about to say Tyson's already not in it. Tyson's already gone, and that was Jamie Collane. So Niché now into the pits. Hans van der Berg on his out lap, so let's stick with him and watch him on this fast lap. Now this, I mean, for a number of these drivers, I've got to say this is a bit of an unknown quantity for us. The older drivers, obviously, people like Baz Den Breyen, we know, well experienced, Nicky Visser, Boy Williamson, John Donkel, Guido Urshan, etc., Marcel Dronig. These guys have raced this track in League Championship before. So I suppose they've got that slight advantage, you could say. But, Hans van der Berg, I don't think he actually made Monaco in season 5.
I think he was here. I think he was. Yeah, his first race, I believe.
Was that his first race back?
Yeah, it might have been. I know his first race was, I think it was Bahrain or China. He got a podium there.
Yeah, but then he was out for a couple, and I think he wasn't in for Monaco. Not certain of that.
I'll look it up in the archives.
Yeah, not certain. But either way, it's important for him to get a good feel for this track. This track, I suspect, would suit him. But I've got to state the obvious, as long as he stays out of the barriers.
Yeah, it's much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. One slight wrong move over the course of an hour and 40 minutes, and you could see your car completely removed from the race.
This isn't looking too bad a time at all here from the Toro Rosso. 1:12.6, that's a respectable time for the start of this Q2, puts him into provisional P6 on that medium tyre. Now it's interesting, the two fastest so far of this Q, Nicky Visser and Davey Hartman, both on those medium compound tyres.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised Nicky's actually gone for the medium tyre. He's
Baston Brain, setting a 1:11.810, topping the charts now in the McLaren. So that's
strange time.
Got to advise me when I've got to get this. I can't turn the damn thing off. Right, there we go. I couldn't turn it off.
I was just saying about Nicky. I think three of the four races that he's won, he has started the race on the mediums. So I'm not too surprised he's doing that here. As Hans van der Berg actually goes straight across the first chicane out of the tunnel, Nouvelle. I think he's just trying to get back to the pit quickly.
I think he's trying to get out of the way of Baston Brain. He's coming round again. But Baz has got good experience here, I've got to say. He's. I think he stands a good chance here this evening. Got to be honest with you.
Yeah, he should do. Yeah, I mean, he's. I'm just trying to look back to see if he's won Monaco in the past. I would expect him to have. He's season 2 champion and runner-up season 4 and 5.
Yep. He's coming around now. He's not really setting a fast lap. I think that's just an out lap for him at this moment in time. In fact, he's straight into the pits there. Nicky Visser back out on track. He's on a fresh set of mediums. Trying to see what he can do there. I'm sure did he set that 1:12 on the mediums or was it on the softs? It was on the softs.
Who was that, sorry, Eddie?
Nicky Visser.
Yes, that was on the medium tyre.
Okay, so he's decided to go out on a fresh medium. Clearly he feels that he can better that lap.
Yeah, and I don't really know why, because he doesn't need to. He's only got to get to the top 10.
Is he just looking to scrub that set, do you think?
Possibly. This is an invalid lap anyway. He might be coming in.
He comes in now. I'd say it's just a scrub. He's not. He's staying out, so he's not. Let's get a couple of laps down on those tyres. Scrub tyres, obviously, that's something we refer to those of you that are racing aficionados. Obviously, you'll be aware of what we mean by that. But Adrian, what do I mean by that?
What do you mean? Yeah, so so brand new tyres, they have this sort of shiny sheen, I suppose, to them, this coating on the outside, which actually reduces their grip ever so slightly. So drivers tend to prefer slightly worn in or scrubbed tyres, just to sort of get some better traction. They just have slightly more grip than brand new ones because they've got that coating removed.
Beautifully done, sir.
Thank you.
So for those of you who aren't familiar, that's basically what we mean when we're talking about the scrub set of tyres. Okay, we've got 3 3/4 minutes remaining of this Q2 session. Baz then Brian currently leading the way. Nicky Visser in second, but out. It looks not another hot lap. No, he's had to forget about that one. Out of time there. Damie Hartman into the pits. Zander Hermans is currently sitting in that P4 position for this Q. And he's in the pits. Guido Urshan 5, Boy Williamson 6, Marcel Dronig out on track. He's currently 7. He's on his outlap. We'll come back to him. Mark Stappers in the Ferrari 8, Hans van der Berg in Toro Rosso 9, Nishay Mahadwa Singh 10, 11. John Donkel in the drop zone. 12. Peter Phillips has in the drop zone. Miguel Torney for Alfa Romeo. I thought he was going to miss there for a minute. He's currently P13 in the drop zone. Yul Tyson, obviously we know he's gone out, and Jamie Collane as well. So both Mercedes out. They will be starting row 7, P14 and 15. We are now fighting it out for these 3 remaining guys. Dunkel, I'd say, is probably the stronger one out of those 3 at this moment in time. He's got 2 minutes remaining. He needs to better that time, 1:13, by a second at least, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's leaving it quite late to come out. Actually, I think he's coming. The car's being parked in the garage. I don't know if he's really going to have time to get back out.
He needs to get out certainly 1:30, 1:40. He's coming back out again, I think. Yeah, he is. They're just coming out now. So it's just a quick change there coming out. So he will have enough time. Peter Phillips into the pits. No, he's out on track. He's going for a fast lap now, I believe, by the looks of it.
Yes. P12. No, he's not. Sorry, no, he's completely out of VRS. He'll have to cruise around this lap, mode 0, and then he'll have enough time to set a hot lap again. He needs to put it in mode 0, though, not mode 1.
Well, Donkel is out on an outlap at this moment in time. I think he's just trying to get some air between him and Donkel, actually.
Yep. Yep, that is the case as well. Interesting fact about Peter Phillips, actually achieved his career best finishing position at Monaco last season, with P4.
Wow, fantastic. So obviously a veteran here of this track, but we know Peter Phillips in there till the bitter end, never gives up, never. No. Damie Hartman was the winner last season. Yeah, I think if anyone can stop Nicky's streak, it would be him. Well, it all depends on how he does at this moment in time. He's done enough to get through to the next queue. We are with John Donkel. He's coming around for his fast lap now, so let's go with him. In fact, let's go on an onboard, give us an idea of how this works. So, turn 1 coming up there, turn 2, just shred. He's eased off there, big time. Has he eased off? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, he's mode 0.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be going for... No, he's majorly slowed down there.
Nisha's put it in the wall at Razkaz. Just as he was coming across the line, he may get dropped.
John Donkel isn't going to come through. Peter Phillips hasn't done enough. Miguel Tournier, I think that's it. Nishay just about scrapes in. Nishay Mahadwa Singh scrapes in there. Good job, Nishay. Maintains that P10 position. And that means that John Donkel will be starting row 6, P11. Peter Phillips in the Haas will be alongside him in P12. Row 7 will be, Miguel Torney and Yul Tyson. And row 8 will be Jamie Collane. So the Mercedes at the back. They've got the Alfa Romeo, the Haas, and the Ferrari of John Donkel ahead of them. So the 10 going through to the Q1 session. Nishay Mahadwa Singh, Hans van der Berg, Mark Stappers, Marcel Dronig, Boy Williamson, Guido Urshan, Zander Hermans, Damie Hartman, Nicky Visser and Bas Den Breyen. Oh, and Mark Stapper's right at the end there sets the fastest lap for that Q2 session with a 1:11.655.
Well, that is an amazing lap.
Fantastic.
Very left field, that one.
Yeah, that's 1.5 tenths off Bas Den Breyen, which is very interesting indeed.
Hopefully he can maintain that kind of performance in the race itself. Last season he did finish the race, managed to rack up 30 seconds worth of penalties, and finished 7th.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's another one that suits him. Oh, let's get rid of that. I keep forgetting that. That's why I need somebody doing this. So, Mark Stappers takes the 1:11.810 from Bas Den Breyen. Nicky Visser next closest with a 1:12.152. Then we have Damie Hartman, Zander Hermans, Guido Urschen, and Marcel Dronig, Hans van der Berg, Boy Williamson, and Nishay Mahendra Singh, all ranging through the 1:12. So, still very close on the rest of that field there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, interesting. Nicky's actually gone for the soft tyre. I know he set quite a fast lap on the mediums, which I think would have been enough to go through.
Yeah, it was a 1:12, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously gone for the softs in the end.
What did he actually set on those mediums on previous? Because I'm sure it was a 1:12 anyway.
Yeah, I think it was 1:12.4. I'm just going to look back at the stream because, otherwise I'll be lying.
I think it was.
Boy Williamson has dropped out, by the way. Don't know if you spotted that. He was eliminated, even though he finished 9th.
He was eliminated, yeah. I'm not too sure what happened there. Obviously, we'll find him in. Of course, that does mean that we are running with 8 drivers. Boy Williamson, on that basis, will be starting in row 5, but he'll have somebody else alongside him, which is Nishay Mahendra Singh.
Indeed.
So Nishay Mahendra Singh will be starting P10, but Boy Williamson will be P9 alongside him in row 5. So that leaves the front 4 rows to be decided here now. Damie Hartman is now on his outlap. So Damie Hartman for the Toro Rosso. Last year's, or rather season 5 champion and champion of seasons 5 here at Monaco as well, Adrian, I believe you were saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he won the race last season by some margin as well, I believe, over his main championship rival Bogart. But I expect him to take pole and win the race here as well. I think this could be the comeback.
So that's your pole call then. Pole call for Adrian is Damie Hartman.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with Baz.
Yeah, Baz is typically quite pacey in qualifying. Obviously one of the more experienced drivers, and as I said earlier on, season 2 champion as well. So could be.
Well, we will soon find out. We are on board with Damie Hartman, first man effectively out on track. I think Nicky Visser ahead of him, is he? Yes, he is. Nicky Visser is ahead of him, actually. So Nicky Visser on his hot lap, he is ahead of him. He will be the first man to set a lap. What can the Red Bull driver do? You can see Damie Hartman just coming round the hairpin there behind him. So he can't ease off though, can he? This is the problem. Hartman's faster and he's closing down, and he's going to be in the dirty air of Visser now.
Yeah, Hartman's a 10th up on Visser after the end of the first sector. Still fastest of anyone, Hartman. Sector 2 to 34.1 from Nicky and a 34.2 from Damie. It's going to be tight for
this is very close
lap.
Indeed. Visser coming across the line now. Yeah, set to 1:11.789. Damie Hartman.
10th and a half down in the final sector.
1:11.958 for Damie Hartman.
Hans is quick though. He's on the 34-1 fastest middle sector.
Oh, look at that,
Goes second,
1:11.848. So 1:11.848 from Hans van der Berg in the Toro Rosso. Good run there from him.
Marcel Dronig back to cross lines. Not a good opening lap from him.
No, it goes in P5, 1:12.9. So high 1:12 there from Dronig. He'll do better than that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Denbrain still in the pits. Stapper's in the pits. Urshan on his out lap now. Now this is the thing, isn't it, with this Q3 session, you want to try and get air between you, but as you're going around, you're going to come into the dirty air or come across somebody, aren't you?
Yeah, you are, and not just that, but you're, you know, if you go too slowly, your tyres can lose temperature, and they have a very narrow sort of optimum operating window. It's particularly crucial in qualifying to keep it within that.
Urshan now starting his hot lap. Let's go on board.
While we're watching Urshan, I just need to make a small correction. Somebody in the stream has corrected me. With the first Monaco Grand Prix wasn't 1927, the 14th of April 1929, and the person who corrected that was my dad.
Well done, Adrian's dad. Right, I think that definitely deserves a huzzah!
I'm not giving him a huzzah.
It's nice to know we got the fan watching. No pressure.
Must be bored.
Oh, it's not true. I've got to say, Urshan's doing a nice lap so far here. Let's hope the commentator's curse the start point. Lost time on that little bit of contact there as he was coming through Louis Chiron, but Anthony knows this is looking good. This is looking a very, very good time indeed.
That 12.3, I think.
Oh, I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot. Oh. He lost a lot of speed out of Anthony Nogues there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 19.3 in that sector, slowest of all the drivers actually.
Yeah, I'm very surprised, but it's the queues. Sorry, the sectors look really good. I'm really surprised by that.
Second fastest middle first sector. Lost half a second though in the middle of the lap.
Yeah, that was Louis Chiron, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hans van der Berg into the pits. Sander Herm's out. Damien Hartman's gone out. Marcel Dronig. Urshan staying out, but I think that's just a warm down lap. I don't know though. Let's have a look. Has he got enough ERS? I think no, he's going to come in. I think. I've got to say though, those tyres. I don't know how many laps he's done them. It's only one lap, but yeah, there seems to be an awful lot of wear on those. Maybe it's just the way the resolution. I don't know, but it does seem to be an awful lot of wear on those.
Yeah, it does look a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, one lap. I'm surprised by that. Denbrain is out on his out lap at this moment in time. So we've got just under 5 minutes remaining. This is F1 tonight, Netherlands, season 6, race 6, and we are here in the wonderful Principality of Monaco. It's racing history for Formula One going all the way back to 1929. So let's see what these guys can do in 2019, 90 years later. Who would have believed watching that race back then that we would be doing it 90 years later on something called a computer over this thing called the internet, off a console called the Xbox, sitting at home throughout Europe. It's pretty amazing, really, isn't it?
It sounds mental when you put it like that, to be honest.
It does sound pretty mental. 90 years, that is just like, that's like somebody coming to me now and saying, okay, would you mind just jumping on my spaceship while we just take you to Mars in about 5 minutes?
It would be the equivalent of that, yeah.
Yeah, not far off. Okay, we are with Mark Stappers. Now, Stappers, we know, is a veteran of Monaco. I say veteran for very good reasons, as we will undoubtedly find out. A bit like I say veteran when we go to Baku. So, Sander Hermans, looking at Sander Hermans at 1:11.522. Where did that come from?
I've no idea.
Where did that come from? Sander Hermans, you know, I mean, we've seen Sander doing some great qualities, I've got to say, throughout this year. He'd start, you know, the middle of season 5 was really hotting it up, but where on earth did that time come from? A 1:11.522. That is the fastest that anybody has done in any of the queues.
Yeah, amazing time from Sanders. First and second sectors were not particularly spectacular either. It was just that final sector, some 0.3 or so faster than anybody else. Hans van der Berg as well, 1:11.594, just slots in behind.
Well, again, you know, if Hermans hadn't picked into the post, he too would have had the fastest qualifying times so far with that 1:11.594. So, again, both drivers there. Very interesting indeed. Is this track starting to come alive, Adrian? Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, not just that, but the driver's confidence is building more and more with each lap as well. Damie Hartman's actually out of the session.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it won't be him on pole.
So 0 points. Adrian.
No points in quali, Eddie. No points in quali.
Listen, mate, on my scoreboard, it's no points. You don't know what I'm adding all this up to. You really don't, do you? I haven't broken that news to you yet, Adrian, have I?
Oh, God. There we go. Another bright idea.
Christmas is coming. Right, Nicky Visser coming over. Is this going to be the lap that he needs to set? Oh, no, 1:13.1. Nicky, not what you're looking for, and you've only got 1:14 remaining. He's not going to be able to get into that front row.
Yeah, that was an invalid lap actually. That last one there probably explains why he was a couple of seconds off the pace. He's pushing it this lap though. Let's see what his first sector's like. 18.8. That's the second fastest first sector we've seen so far.
Well, then Brian coming round Anthony Noakes now. Getting onto that start-finish straight. What
the brain's purple in sector 2 and very good sector 1.
Oh, look at that! A 1:11.125 from Den Brian in the McLaren, the fastest of all queues now, and the gauntlet has been thrown down. Who's the next man to come on through? Hans van der Berg into the pits. Nicky Visser coming round now on his hot lap. What can he do? Coming in.
Oh, it's invalid.
It's invalidated. It's invalidated it. Oh, no. That's it. No more... Marcel Dronig in the pits. Mark Stappers coming around. He's not going to be doing any better. That's it. That's it. And I think Baz Den Brian is actually going to get pole here, Adrian.
That was a very good call. Very, very good.
So, am I correct in that? I just want to hear you say it.
Yes, Eddie, you're correct.
What am I correct on, Adrian?
You correctly called the pole positions now.
Well, and who was that, Adrian?
That was Baz Den Brian. Can we end this torture now, please?
It's all right. This is for your dad, mate. This is to make up for all those years that you cost him an absolute bloody fortune.
I paid it back.
Okay, so Baz Den Brian will be number one man in that front row, the all-important place here for Monaco. But who would have called it? Sander Hermans in the Rocket Williams is going to be alongside him. That came out of nowhere.
Certainly did. I mean, he's a pacey driver anyway. Sanders won the first race, of course, in Australia. He's the only other driver besides Nicky to have won a race so far. But yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, it didn't look particularly strong in Q1. I know it was a bit of a practice. Q2 was average. But yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, definitely. I have no idea where that came from, but very well done indeed. So we're just waiting to go through to the race itself. Then await the drivers readying up. Adrian, this is the time of day when we need to call who is going to win this race. A tough call, I know. You're already 1-0 down today. What are you going to go for?
Let's go for Broke Street. I'm going to. I really hope Hans van der Berg actually pulls it out the bag and wins this race here today. I've done some racing with him. I'd like to have done some racing with him. I wasn't able to attend the session a few days ago. But it'd be good to see him. Good to see him at the top.
I don't know. I'm thinking about this, and I'm going to go with my man. I'm going to go with Prinsdom Monaco.
Okay, I'm saying nothing.
Who was it you're going with again, Adrian?
I'm going with Van der Berg. Is my guy.
Monsieur Hans van der Berg. Okay. I'm saying Monsieur because I have no idea how to say it in Dutch, which is shocking, I know.
Well,
but
to be fair, we're in Monaco, so
that's true. That's probably why I'm saying it in La Française. Indeed. Right, we're just waiting for the drivers to tick their appropriate boxes and ready up. Some did, and then they didn't. So it looks like we may have having some connection on the issues.
Okay. I do hope not.
Well, I certainly hope not. We're looking for dry conditions here for this Monaco Grand Prix. 78 laps of a relentless hell. I mean, the first few laps, yeah, you got to enjoy it. But when you're on lap 60 and you know you've still got 18 laps to go, it must be absolutely soul destroying because these guys, albeit they are sim racing, but they're going to feel the pain, aren't they?
Yeah, as I said earlier on, it's a real test of stamina doing a full race of Monaco, 78 laps here, and they're, it's the slowest average speed as well because it can be an absolute nightmare on the old arms on the wheel, doing it for that long. But
a good likelihood, as we know, of a safety car here. Obviously, safety car certainly mixes it up. The field wheeled spread, and I was talking to you earlier about, you're going to have situations, people being lapped, people unlapping themselves, slower drivers getting ahead of faster drivers, maybe when they're looking to contest positions. All that is going to be going on as well as actually racing.
Yeah,
although
and
it
that's
is
a
part
skill.
of it.
And that's a skill in itself as well, is knowing how to be lapped or how to behave correctly when you are being lapped. And these drivers have driven with each other for a very long time, with the exception of just sort of one or two. So they'll be fully aware of what they're likely to do, how they're likely to behave on track. So yeah, it should be okay.
Well, one certainly hopes so. We're just waiting for the last few drivers to ready up. The McLaren and the Mercedes of the new driver, Yul Tyson. Stapper's in the Ferrari. Getting their last bits and pieces ready, I guess. Oh, we've seen a few jump out. Ah, okay. We're definitely having some connection issues here by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like they might have a black screen. Session will have to be restarted, unfortunately.
Okay, well, what we'll do is, let me think now. Right, I will get something readied up. So, bear with. And what we're going to do is just wait for the guys here to get everything sorted. And in the meantime, what I'm going to look to do is to try and bring in something to keep you entertained. Unfortunately, it isn't something that I've actually previously arranged, which is unusual. But
as long as you don't start singing, Eddie, we'll be all right.
As long as that is harsh. that is really, that's not. You're not being very nice there, Adrian. I've got to say, you're not being very kind to me there at this moment in time.
Well, we'll blame it on your slightly croaky voice today.
Yeah, well, as I was saying to you earlier, I'm looking at it more from the point of view, it's I think it's actually quite husky and rather sexy, a little bit James Bond, possibly. I don't really know.
That was annoyingly good.
It's only because I got the voice, to be brutally honest. And can you name? Actually, Adrian, there you go. Can you name that Bond?
That was probably Roger Moore. That one.
How did you guess? That's brilliant.
That's brilliant. You made it easy. It was pretty much spot on.
Yeah, it might well have been. Well, it's nice to know at least. Okay, so where am I here? Oh my goodness me! All right, let's get this right here. And okay, and let's see if we can get this going here. Not ideal.
Bobby's just in the process of being reset.
Okay. Trying to see if I can get this across here, but I can't. Oh, there we go.
Oh, well done.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight.
Leclerc down the main straight, leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen behind him, separated by a few car lengths. There are 3 laps to go. Leclerc knows what's coming towards turn 3. Is he going to go inside or outside? Which way's Verstappen going to go here? DRS wide open, gaining on the Ferrari. Switches early, Verstappen, late braking. Leclerc this time might just have to give way as he goes off the track. And when he comes back on, Max Verstappen has just sent Holland into raptures. He leads the Austrian Grand Prix. What a battle this has been.
Are coming on, and we are go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Baz the Prix pulls away. John Douglas stays behind. Hansen third moves up there. Hansen and Dan Yama moves up to 10th place. Welcome to F1 Tonight.
One. Okay, welcome back. We are here for Monaco for the start of this race. Apologies for that slight little technical difficulty. I mean, let's be honest, Adrian, it wouldn't be F1 tonight without some technical difficulties somewhere along the line.
You know what? All these difficulties, they make us better people.
They do.
Overcome these challenges.
They do. It's like it would scare the living daylights out of some people, but we're quite blasé about it now, really, aren't we?
That's right. I get worried if there's no technical glitches.
It only adds to the viewing pleasure and the anticipation of those viewing people. Okay, so we are getting underway now. So drivers will be readying up.
The historic Grand Prix of Monaco and Formula 2. The electric series, of course, takes a shorter route along the harbour side and not the full course we're using this weekend.
15 drivers, that's right, I was just counting them. 15 drivers.
Didn't have to take the socks off, did you?
Yeah, it was close. It was really close, I gotta say. I'm holding the controller in one hand. Do you know what I mean? Right, so Adrian, you're calling for the win, because I didn't write it down and I've totally forgotten.
Oh, that means I can change it.
No, go on. You
No,
said
definitely
Hans
not
van der
change
Berg,
it.
didn't you?
Hans van der Berg, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you thought I'd forgotten. I hadn't really. I'm calling Baz then Brian. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you one that I'm going to throw in the mix as well, just for the hell of it. Just because I like doing that. Mark Stappers.
Yep.
Not the fastest man on track, ultimately at the end of the day, but I've just got a feeling that if he could get into the flow, and as you say, this does have a very particular flow, certainly Monaco, I think he stands a damn good chance.
Yeah, I think if he can keep his nose out of trouble while drivers perhaps starting ahead of him, find themselves bouncing off walls and such, and if he can just get a good run with the traffic as they come into the pit and he just glides past, he could be on for a good position. Finished 7th here last season, as I said, qualified 9th. He starts 7th here today, so he does.
Right, so I don't know, drivers are now readying up. Finally, we are on that starting grid. I'm going to be starting in reverse order, just for the hell of it, because I want to, basically. So, in starting at the back will be Yul Tyson, new driver with us this evening for Mercedes. Alongside him will be his teammate, or in front of him rather, will be Jamie Collane. He's in P14. In P13 we have Miguel Torni for Alfa Romeo. In 12 we have Peter Phillips in the Haas. And let's just go to them there. Thank you very much. Peter Phillips in the Haas there. 11 we have John Dunkel in the Ferrari, out of place there in 11 I think. Then we have Nishay Mahadwa Singh in the Renault in P10. Oh dear, and that's Baz Brain going into missing it round the hairpin there. Oh dear, not a good sign of things to come. Then we have Boy Williamson in that Red Bull. He's in P9. In P8 we have the McLaren of Guido Urshan. In P7 we have Mark Stappers in that Ferrari who I was talking about a minute ago. Then we have Marcel Dronig in the Rocket Williams. He's in P6. P5 we have Davey Hartman, last year's winner here at Monaco, and indeed season 5 winner as well. Watch out for him. Then we have Nicky Visser in the Red Bull. He's second row, P4. Hans van der Berg will be alongside him in that Toro Rosso. He's in P3 place. Then we have Zander Hermans, the surprise in the Rocket Williams there. Oh, get the right one. And then obviously Baz de Brian in P1 position there. So just waiting for the last driver to come into the grid. Lights are on. This is the Monaco Grand Prix F1 tonight, and they're off for the start of the race. Baz de Bruyne takes the lead. Zander Herman still in second. Hans van der Berg, you can see the guys coming up behind them there. Let's watch them as they go through that first turn. Zander Herman's getting ahead. Hans van der Berg moves up the 3. Nicky is still in 4th. Damie Hartman still in 5. Drone, Guido Urshan all through, it looks like, at this moment in time. Looking good. Let's get back up to front. Hans van der Berg has dropped down. Zander Herman's has got ahead of him. Nicky Visser up 1 as well. Damie Hartman down 1. So Hans van der Berg drops 1, Nicky Visser moves up 1.
Yeah, a couple of pieces of carbon fibre flying around at turn 1. Always a bit of a collision actually at the hairpin, a bit of a pile-up in fact.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. We've got the back runners there, and that's Jamie Collane, and that's Peter Phillips who's gone out in the Haas. John Donkel gets through, Jamie Collane gets through. That's really held them up there. Surely that's going to be a safety car. It's a VSC.
Yeah, VSC.
So VSC is out. That's going to keep the guys nice and tight, isn't it? Well, tight. It's going to be very tight.
Well, actually, the VSC keep them at the sort of, technically the same distance that they're currently at. So it kind of, as they say in the actual F1 production, you know, it puts them, all the cars, if they were on a Scale Electric track, they'd be all on the same slot, so they will remain the same distance between.
Yeah, but you've got to be watching for when those lights go out, because it's race on, and Zander Herman's surely in that second place at this moment in time. He's going to be looking for an opportunity to get himself launched past that McLaren ahead of him, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, 7 drivers in the pit. By the way, Ursham, Marjestine, Williamson, Stappers, Donkel, and Gleisen as well. Yeah,
Wow.
Donkel actually got a 5-second stop-go as well for speeding under the virtual safety car. Not a good race for him.
Not a good start, certainly. Certainly not a good start for poor old John there. But it's the way it goes.
Yeah, top 5, top 6 actually remain unchanged though, amazingly.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise, got to be honest.
Jamie Collane up from 14th up to P7 after 1 lap.
Right, well, Hans van der Berg 6/10 off the back of Baz de Bruyne ahead of him. They're both on the soft tyres, but Hans van der Berg in that 3rd place. He's on the medium set of tyres, looking strong, but he's going to be under challenge from Nicky Visser behind him in that Red Bull on the soft set of tyres. So Hans van der Berg, sorry, Zander Herman setting the fastest time. Nicky Visser just being out 1:17.393, early doors yet. We then got the Damie Hartman on the mediums, Marcel Dronig on the mediums in 5-6, and then 7, Jamie Collane on those mediums, although he's somewhat further behind. Those front 6 still very close, as you rightly said there, but those medium runners clearly looking to get the advantage. But the first one is going to be Hans van der Berg, but he's going to have to watch it because he's got Nicky Visser in the background there gunning for him, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, and also as all these drivers are sort of battling each other. I know I just talked about it a moment ago, but Jamie Collane's just been able to set the fastest lap of the race on lap 2. Because he's got 12.8 seconds ahead of him of just nice clean air, nobody around, so he's able to put the times in. This could actually really help him later on in the race.
Yeah. We're on board at this moment in time with Nicky Visser. As he comes round, Raskas into Anthony Nogues, onto that start-finish straight. DRS has been activated. Not now, but obviously on this lap now, so they'll have it next time round. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, good shout there. They've all gone onto the hard tyres. You can see those back, as you quite rightly say, those back 4 all also gone on the hard tyres. They're going to be able to go a lot deeper. That's going to help them a great deal, isn't it?
Yeah, back 5. I don't think they can do the entire race on that set of tyres. They probably need a stop sort of 15 laps or so from the end, perhaps onto the soft tyre. But yeah, Guido Urshan actually was one of the 7 who did come in for pit. He's actually gone onto the soft tyre for this stint. I didn't expect.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he thinks he can get ahead of a few of those guys. He can get ahead of Miguel Tournier and Jamie Collane. it puts him in a much better place, and that's, I suspect that's probably what he's aiming for.
Yeah, it could do, yeah, but as we said, it's, as we all know, it's notoriously difficult to overtake on track.
Yeah, that is very true.
Nicky's just gone into the back of Hans at Raskaz. I don't know if he lost a piece of wing with the Red Bull.
No, looks good. Red Bull front wing looks okay. May have some minor damage on there, but it looks okay. Just on board with Zander Hermans, look at this. I mean, he's 2.5 tenths off the back of their brain. I mean, that's brave in that dirty air round here.
Yeah, he's really doing well. Oh, Guido Ocean's retired.
He's retired. Let's have a quick look at it.
Oh, and Miguel Torni's just gone into the back of him as well.
Oh, dearie me. And another bit of chaos there. And that's the Alfa Romeo out as Miguel Torni as well, isn't it? Boy Williamson literally pushing his way through Nishay Mahadwa Singh as well. And, oh, dearie me. So that's Guido Urshan in the McLaren is out, and Miguel Torni in the Alfa Romeo. Both Nishay and Boy coming into the pits as well.
Yeah, somehow Mahadwa Singh got a 5-second penalty for the collision with Boy, but Mahadwa Singh actually stopped behind the two crashed cars. Boy Williamson tried to sort of push through. I don't know why the game gave Mahadwa Singh the penalty for that. I think that'll have to be looked at.
Yeah, I think that may have to be looked at, because clearly that wasn't the case. Mark Strappers is into P8 now. P7 is Damie Hartman, those hard runners, and John Donkel. Those guys, just trying to see, yeah, they were on the softs, wasn't they? Yeah, because Miguel Torni was on softs and Guido Urshan as well. Will Tyson coming out of the pits on a fresh set of mediums. Nishay Mahadwa Singh's in P11 on a set of mediums. Boy Williamson is in P10. He's also gone on to a fresh set. So all those guys came in, fresh set of tyres. John Donkel in 9. He's on the hards. Mark Stappers, his teammate, ahead of him in P8. Then we've got Damie Hartman in the Toro Rosso, is P7. Jamie Collane in the Mercedes is P6. Marcel Dronig in the Rocket Williams 5. Nicky Visser in the Red Bull is 4. Hans van der Berg is still in that P3, and that's interesting. Visser hasn't closed down to him. Yeah, it's not where he wants to be. He's on those soft compound tyres. He needs to get past Hans van der Berg.
Yeah, he doesn't want to waste too much time behind him in the dirty air as well. I mean, this track is it will eat up tyres due to the mechanical grip that's required, as opposed to downforce. Yeah. There aren't many sort of long, fast corners. It's all pretty twisty. But yeah, you won't want to be sat there in P4 for too long.
No, definitely not.
I'm convinced he has got damage. I just can't see it on Nicky's car.
Yeah, but surely if he's got damage, come in, go on to a fresh set of mediums, or risk it going on to the hards, because those hard runners, they're doing okay at this moment in time. Yeah,
it might just be sort of light yellow damage, sort of 5 or 10% damage, which he can perhaps live with. But he seems just a little bit off the pace.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as I said, Adrian, he's losing time. He's got a guy ahead of him who's on a set of medium tyres. He has to get past him on track, because he's going to pit before him. So he's got to try and get as much advantage as he can out of that. Otherwise, what's the point of being on a soft compound tyre?
Yeah, well, you could say that the point is holding on to his track position. Doesn't want to perhaps pit too early, despite losing time to the guys ahead. He knows that if he pits too early, he'll have a lot of cars ahead of him for a long part of this race.
He's going on board here with Zander Hermans now. He's still in that P2 position. Backed off a little bit, but still on the tails of that McLaren, isn't he? I mean, look at this. He's hot on his heels. He has been for the past 8 laps.
Yeah, he's keeping up the fight. Fight going on in the background. Don't necessarily have to go to it, but John Donkel is holding off Boy Williamson.
I can see that. Yeah, and also you got Nishay Mahadwa Singh coming into play there in the background, and Boy Williamson looking to get past John Donkel, and again he needs to because he's on the faster compound tyre. Same situation that his teammate Nicky Visser's got ahead of him.
Yeah.
Boys on the Yellow World medium tyre. John Donkel ahead of him is on the hard compound tyre. So it's critical that he gets ahead of him on track because John Donkel will, in theory, be pitting later than him.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got blues being waved here.
Yeah, that's for Marcel Dronik coming through. He's in P5 trying to get past Mahadur Singh in P11. And the two cars ahead of him, obviously.
And this is the back markers coming through. Really trying to get alongside John Donkel here. Pushing hard. 3-second time penalty for Visser. Oh dear, not what he's looking for there.
Yeah, cut the corner. Cut the corner at 1.
We are on board at this moment in time with Boy Williamson as he's closing down on John Donkel. As I said, very, very important for him to get past Donkel here on track. But Donkel holding him off well, I've got to say.
Yeah, but doing all right. Bearing in mind he is on those hard tyres.
Oh, he's trying him into Poitiers on the exit. They're coming down the tunnel now, side by side. Yes, and Donkel moves aside, lets Williamson through. And Williamson, I'm sure, I mean, that was great though. He saw that opportunity where Donkel got it wrong in the exit into Poitiers. Saw an opportunity, went for it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, Donkel's actually ripped off his left end plate as well on that front wing.
Yeah, and he's dropped right down to P12. It's dropped right down there. Yul Thyssen moves ahead of him, P11. Nishay Mahadur Singh also gets ahead of him, so he's now moved up into P10. And he's trying to get past... is he trying to get... Yeah, Dronik. He's trying to get past Dronik, and that's the blue flags I saw being waved, isn't it, for Dronik, as you said.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dronik's in P5, so...
Yeah, he's been P5, trying to unlap himself. Mahadur Singh did just let him pass.
Okay, well this is looking interesting, but let's get back to Sander Hermans in the other Rocket Williams. Still 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths. He's still on the tails of Dembrain, but he's now got Hans van der Berg closing down on him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to sort of catch a guy and keep up the driver, but it's an entirely different animal to try and overtake, as I know all too well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is, as I said, I mean, there are little to no opportunities here. I mean, in the real world, we've seen some dramatic overtakes. Ones, you know, if I go sort of by track, I suppose. Obviously, exit of turn 1. When you're coming up, you've got that opportunity, effectively, out of Sunderbo down towards Beau Rivage. I've seen overtakes there. Obviously, the other one I've seen is the hairpin, and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't see too many overtakes like that.
Damage! That was Baz Brand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, from P1.
Yeah. Oh, and he's gone into the wall. Oh no! And into the back of him goes Nicky Visser. That's turn 5 there. That's Mirabeau Ho. He's completely lost his front wing there, Baz Brand. And oh my goodness me, what a tragedy for him. The McLaren loses his front wing, and that was contact out of Casino, I think, wasn't it? Or was it into Casino?
Into Casino, that's it. And as we said earlier on, that's all it takes, isn't it? Slight lapse of concentration, and that's it, your race is over. Nicky will be absolutely livid about that as well. He's a complete passenger in
now
all of
they've
that.
got all these guys piling up behind them. Nicky Visser needs to try and get past. He can't. The brain is like pushing ahead. And you've got Marcel Dronik. He's now caught up to Nicky Visser. Jamie Collane 10 seconds off, but everyone's closing in, and Visser's backed right off now.
Yeah, he's got puncture.
He's got damage. He's got puncture. Yeah, he has. Look at that. Oh, dearie me. Nicky Visser having to come in now. But I've got to say that the thing that gets me here is Sander Hermans, because that you don't see Baz Dembrain crack. You just don't see it. But we just have. And that's the thing. He cracked under that pressure.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he had those two guys behind him for 10, 11 laps, and he wasn't pulling away from them. They were still there. He might have just flicked back in his rear view mirror, or rear view button, I suppose, and just lost concentration. Yeah, really unusual to see that.
Well, I've got to say, it's the first time I've seen Baz and Brian come under that sort of pressure and make that sort of mistake. And it was a mistake. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, 100% was a driver error there. Nobody to blame but himself for that.
But now it's given Sander Hermans the opportunity to get up into that first place. What a fantastic opportunity for Hermans.
Yeah, I was about to say he's kept his nose clean, but he didn't get through that unscathed. I think there was some minor contact with the McLaren.
He's lost an end plate, front left.
Yeah, he's lost an end plate. Van der Berg behind, though, he looks pretty clean to me.
No, Van der Berg is fresh as a daisy, as you might say there. And now this is going to be the interesting one, because obviously Van der Berg is on those medium compound tyres. Hermans is on 12-lap old soft tyres. He's going to have to be coming soon. If you were Hans Van der Berg, what would you do? Would you just stay behind him and not push it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd wait till Sander comes into the pit, which he will inevitably have to do before Hans. And then as soon as he comes in, just set your fastest laps.
I would suspect Hermans needs to come in now, because otherwise he's going to lose too much time on track, and it's just not worth it. But he stays out. I knew he was going to do that, but I've got to say, I think he should have come in.
Yeah, I would have come in considering the damage. But as I said earlier on, the track position is everything at Monaco, and if he can stay ahead for that little bit longer, it can have a detrimental effect on Van der Berg's strategy himself, because he'll have fewer laps left to burn, to set those fast laps in those tyres.
Well, I mean, I think he's going to be pretty safe. He may have to fight. I mean, he's certainly going to be safe for P4. There's no two ways about it if he pits. He's got a good opportunity for P3. He's currently about just 16 and a half seconds ahead of Marcel Dronig, third place, who is also on a set of mediums. So he's in a good position at this moment in time, Herman. So he's not... Obviously, he's going to lose out, but he's either going to come out, fighting for P3 or P4.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm going to have to completely change the subject. Baz de Breen is in for another new wing. So he pitted after that crash, and he's obviously crashed again at some point.
So then Brian comes in again for a new wing, coming out of the pits now. And it hasn't gone his way so far. I mean, we are early doors. It's lap 15 of 78, so we're not even a quarter of the way through yet, barely. He's got all the work to do there, and he's gone onto a set of mediums. He's looking to try and do as much work as he can on this set now, isn't he?
Yeah, he just needs to focus again. Actually, as the Breen just gets lapped by the leaders.
The leaders there, Sander Hermans and Hans Van der Berg. Yeah.
Ironically, at the crash, at the corner where he crashed.
Yeah, it's rather ironic to say the least. But let's not discount them, Brian. We've seen him come back from these sort of positions before, but Monaco, it's a tough track to do it on, but he's in a good position. He's got those medium compound tyres. He's probably going to be fighting it out with the likes of Stappers and Hartmann, actually.
Yeah, I think he could be meeting Visser again at some point during this race as well.
Yeah, well, let's not forget Nicky Visser is down in that P6 place. Obviously, we know Visser leading the championship convincingly at this moment in time. He can afford to not take so many points. I think he's pretty much wants to try and finish certainly within that top 5 if he possibly can. But, again, he got caught up there, but it was no fault of his own. There was nothing he could do.
No, as I said earlier, he's a complete passenger to that incident. They're racing for position. He's right behind him, and de Breen just happens to lose control and put it in the wall. Hermans and Van der Berg were able to capitalise, and unfortunately Nicky was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And ended up losing his wing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, Nicky was P4, wasn't he? I think he was P4 when all that happened. So the other two squeezed past, and Nicky just took the racing line.
I mean, definitely those three drivers, Marcel Dronig, Davey Hartman, and Jamie Collane, totally cashed in on that opportunity that was given to them. There's no two ways about it. But hell, that's racing.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie Collane doing exceptionally well again. Now, his last race actually was Azerbaijan. Managed to finish P2 and get driver of the day. And I think he could be on for perhaps a similar situation here.
Well, he's in a strong position. He's on 15-lap old mediums. And Sander Hermans going again for another lap, 16 laps. I don't know how deep they can go on these soft compound tyres, but I'd suspect that Hermans is pretty much reaching the limit there.
Yeah, he can't really. I wouldn't imagine him being able to do many more laps. Hans van der Berg behind is just pretty much cruising at this point now. He's managing to maintain the wear rates on his tyres. He's not using his ERS at all. Really, he's at 95%. And he's just able to sort of be a bit more casual, be a bit more relaxed on the steering as well, as Sander struggles ahead of him.
Yeah, Visser just setting the fastest lap so far of the race at 1:15. It was 1:15.7. So he's definitely pushing Visser on those mediums. But Van der Berg, I think he's just waiting for Hermans to come in, to be brutally honest. And he's just, it's every lap he's probably thinking, should I go for him? Should I go for him? And then, nah, it's not really what he's going to have to come in. And he stays out for another lap. So I think Hans van der Berg is going to be sitting there thinking, right, if I was him, I'd say, right, okay, if he doesn't come in the next one, I'm definitely going to go for it.
Yeah, he may do that. I hope he doesn't, because the sensible thing would be to just sit behind him for as long as it takes.
Yeah, but he's got Dembrain closing in behind him, who's going to be looking to try and unlap himself. I can't see Dembrain hanging about. So he's going to be stuck in a bit of an angry sandwich, as he already is.
Yeah, I'm not sure Dembrain will attempt to unlap himself, just because of the nature of this track. I think he might just have to wait it out for these two guys as well, unfortunately. I know I'm sort of downplaying all overtakes. I know it's typically very difficult to overtake here, and I know that the guys are sensible enough to only really go for it when it's pretty much guaranteed.
Well, I've got to say, this is somewhat the situation we're in at the moment, a little bit different, but somewhat reminiscent, I think, of Real World 2017.
Yeah.
With Ricciardo nursing an injured Red Bull round the Monaco track. And just holding everybody back, even though they were faster than him. And this is one of the idiosyncrasies of this Monaco track, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. Really good example as well, actually. Ricciardo, as said, car was very much injured. Wasn't the fastest one out there, certainly, and he was just able to hold everyone off, because it's impossible to overtake, or near impossible to overtake.
Yeah.
Very easy to defend position at this track.
It is, because it's such a narrow track as well. I mean, there are obviously certain areas where you are wide, the tunnel, and again, you could go on the dirty side of the tunnel here and go for it. And it's a risky move, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think Sander might be at risk of making a fatal mistake at some point if he does push those tyres too much further. I
don't think he needs to push them too much further. I mean, he's actually lost time now. He was 16.5 seconds ahead of Dronig. He's now, 15.5 seconds. So he's lost a second to Dronig. It's not doing him any good, but he's staying out. He's staying out, and it's just he's not doing himself any favours whatsoever by staying out, unless he's trying to stick to some bizarre strategy. And if that's the case, he would have to be looking to go on hard to close the race.
Yeah, I think that might be Sanders' plan, to be fair. I think he's just trying to push these softs as far as he can so that the hards get within range, so he doesn't have to stop again, which might actually work. Yeah, it might actually work in his favour here.
Okay, well, let's have a look down the track so we can familiarise ourselves, not hang around too long on that situation, because it's going to be it's a bit of a, as you like to say, Adrian, what's F1?
It's a 200-mile-an-hour game of chess.
There you go. Although in this case, it's a 120-mile-an-hour game of chess. Right, okay, so Yul Tyson, new driver in the Mercedes, is currently in that P12 place. In P11 is John Donkel, again in the pits, coming out now. Not his race by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, he'll actually be in P12 and Yul Tyson will move up to P11. So John Donkel now in that P12 position.
5-second penalty for John as well.
Oh, dearie me, yeah, 5-second penalty.
Oh, and another 3 seconds.
Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness me! And that's because he crossed the white line coming out of the pits, isn't it?
Yeah, he crossed the white line out of the pits. That was 5 seconds, and then cut the corner at 1. Well, on top of that.
All right, well, with his teammate Mark Stappers, who's currently in that P10 place, at least he's got in the points there at this moment in time. Then we have Mishay Mahadwa Singh, fantastic race. He's again showing some great qualification pace, very impressive indeed. And it's almost a little bit of a side swipe out of Casino coming down to Mirabeau there, manages to control it. He's very Sander Herman of season 5, very Sander Herman-esque, isn't he?
yeah, definitely. Which is a good thing, because it means it's going to progress further and be winning races sooner or later. Yellow flags in 2 and 3. Just going to try and find out who that was for.
So Nishay Mahadwa Singh, as I said, he was in P9. Boy Williamson at this moment in time in the Red Bull, well, he's in P8. He's on 15-lap old medium tyres. Probably go, I would suspect, around about the mid-30s. So could be progression from him, although it's going to be tough, got to say.
Oh, sorry, Sander and Hans both in the pit, same lap.
So both in the pit. Sander, that's interesting.
And onto different tyres.
Yeah, and Hermans has actually gone onto the medium tyre, and Van der Berg has gone onto the hard compound tyre. Interesting. Okay, I didn't expect that. I thought it would be the other way round. Yeah, so did I, to be brutally honest, but there you go.
I think this could work for both of these drivers, actually, because it allows Hermans to pull away from Hans, which he needs to do. And also that actually helps Hans as well, because it means he'll have clean air ahead of him, which means his tyres won't be wearing out as fast. So yeah, he's able to now pace himself to the end of this race. He's got 56 laps to do, plus this one. Long way to go on those tyres, but if he can do it, I think he'll be. He might find himself top of the podium.
Let's be fair. We saw Sander Hermans go to end of lap 19, wasn't it? So effectively 20 plus laps on those soft compound tyres. If you work that up, that does make those hard compound tyres capable of going to the end of this race. It's going to be pushing it, I think, certainly in the last 5 laps or so, but it is certainly possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Hans has actually got 6 seconds of penalties as well. Only got those in the last 2 or 3 laps.
Sander Hermans is in that P3 place. So as I said, he was looking safe for that P3. Jonig and Hartmann have got ahead of him. He actually would have come out P4. So yeah, he's come out where I said, basically, he would have come out ahead of Hartmann, but he would have come out ahead of Marcel Jonig and Hartmann had he come in earlier. But he's sticking, clearly he's sticking to his strategy pre-race.
Yeah, he's now able to just get his head down and get on with it.
Okay, so as I was saying, Nishay Mahadwa Singh in the meantime, let's go to that. He's moved up to 8. Then we have Baz Den Brayan in the McLaren. He is now in P7. Way to go yet on here for him on those medium tyres. Then we have Nicky Visser, and Nicky is now in P6. And I'm sure his goal is to get in that top 5 if he possibly can. Jamie Collane sorry, you were going to say, Adrian?
Just going to say, Nicky was. This is pretty much damage limitation for him. Yeah, top 5 will absolutely keep his championship hopes well and truly alive. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's the important thing for him, as I said, definitely. And Jamie Collane in the Mercedes, well, what can we say? Another good position for him. He needs to maintain it, though. He's on 23-lap old mediums. Both him and Marcel Dronig at the moment, the guys on track with the longest running medium compound tyres. Judging by what we saw from Sander Hermans on those soft tyres, I would suspect they can go mid-30s on these mediums. So he's still got a while to go. That means he's going to be pitting probably round about sort of mid to high 30s or thereabouts. That will leave him with 40 laps. He could go on to another set of mediums, couldn't he? Oh no, he couldn't. No, he's going to have to go on to a set of hards.
He's got to use something else. Oh, it actually bounced off the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Boy just unlapped himself.
Yeah, Boy unlapping himself through the tunnel. He wasn't prepared for that, and it made him jump a bit, I think.
Yeah,
he's got
missing
damage.
A piece of, missing quite a big piece of his wing now.
Big piece on the front left there of his wing. He's got to watch it, especially through these twists and turns of Louis Chiron, the swim pool, and Raskas and Anthony Nose.
Expect him to come here. This might not be too bad for him. This might not be too bad for him. It's a natural pit stop time. Okay, he might have wanted to stretch it out to perhaps 30.
He's going on to the hards. New nose.
Yeah, that's wise.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to keep him very much, I think, still in the hunt. He's going to be coming out in P6. Baz the Brain is about 30-odd seconds behind him. So he will have Nicky Visser ahead of him, Jamie. So Nicky Visser will be ahead of him. So he's in P5. We'll move up to P5 now, as obviously Jamie came in. Hans van den Berg, though, he's in P4. He's on those hard compound tyres. He's got 3 laps on those, came in on 22. I don't know, 56 laps on those hards. I can't see it. I can see it going mid to high 40s, but I can't see it going that long.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea for sure as to what these tyres can do.
I'm looking at Jamie Collane thinking he's in for a shout, but I'm thinking also, fuel depletion. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I guess he could do it.
Yeah, I think it is viable, but it's just going to depend how each person drives as well.
Yeah, that is very true. Sander Hermans obviously in P3 was leading this race convincingly after, hanging. I wouldn't say hanging on the coattails of Baz the Brain, who was in 1, but pushing at the coattails of Baz the Brain, who was in number 1. Pushed him that much, he made a mistake, which is very uncommon for Den Brain. Assumed that P1 position, did 19 laps on the soft compound tyres, came in, pitted, he's come out onto the mediums, he's in P3. He's looking strong still, isn't he? But he needs to get past Hartmann, ideally, on track.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, does he though? Because
I think he does.
He's racing his own race, in fairness. Yeah, I mean, if he closes up too quickly, then yes, he'll need to make the move, because he'll be slowing him down. Bearing in mind that Hartmann is on the harder tyres. Oh, have we lost you? It says you've left.
Said that I need to sign in. So for some reason, I think it's because. Right, bear with us 1 second.
No problem.
So just going to quickly cut across. If you could send me an invite, Adrian.
Yeah, certainly.
Apologies for that. For some unknown reason, I don't know why I disconnected. Actually, I've just literally gone through the drivers, so that was a bit odd.
A little bit random.
It was rather.
Nicky Visser's come in the pit again. I know you can't see it right now. He's come in the pit. He's only done 7 laps on his soft tyres. And he's in for a new nose cone and medium tyres, which means he's going to have to at least stop again.
Right. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So Visser's come in and gone on to a fresh set of mediums. We are rejoining the race. Apologies there. I really don't know what happened, but as I said, it wouldn't be F1 tonight if we didn't have these little technical difficulties from time to time. So Visser's come in. And let's,
Debreen's just gone past as Nicky's just come out of the pit. So again, these two are going to have to battle. This is similar to what we saw at the early stages of the race, except it's not for P1, it's for P6.
Yeah, but Visser's come in, but he hasn't got a new set of tyres. I've got him showing a 7-lap old medium still.
Oh yeah, that's right. But he definitely came in.
Was it a penalty, or was it a nose?
It was definitely a nose.
Oh, right, so he could have just come in for the nose, but he's staying on those medium compound tyres.
Unless he hasn't got any other mediums apart from these. It might have been some worn mediums they put on the car.
Right.
Because he was definitely on softs previous, 7-lap old softs.
Oh, so he was on 7-lap old softs, he's had to go onto the medium. Oh, this really isn't panning out for him, really, is it?
No,
clearly he's got issues with his tyre allocation as well. He's had to go onto this 7-lap old set of mediums. What's he going to do to close this race? Has he got any softs? Is he going to have to go on the hards? And if he has to go onto the hards, surely it's better to come in earlier and go onto the hards.
Yeah, I would have gone onto the hards just then, to be honest, rather than bother with these mediums. But perhaps he thought he had a fresh set to use.
Could well be. Then Brian, in the meantime, moves up to P6. And as I said to you, keep watching him. If anyone can come through this field, it's going to be Dimbrain. And to be fair, he's still got 50 laps to go. We're only a third of the way through this lap. This is F1 tonight, Netherlands, and we are here in season 6, as you can quite clearly see in the Monaco track, in the wonderful Principality on the Mediterranean coast. And it's been rather an exciting race. Dimbrain leading the race from the start. Got pushed into making an error from Zander Hermans, who then assumed P1. The brain then fell back, had a collision with another wall, had to come in again, got another nose, fell right to the back of the field, now finding his way through. He's got up to P6, and he's got 49 laps now remaining to do something about it, and he's still looking good, isn't he? I still think he's going to be there somewhere.
Yeah, I expect him to be up there. I predict probably around P4 by the end of this Grand Prix. Sander has caught up to the back of Damie though for P1. Yeah. I know, as I said, on different strategies, but yeah, he won't want the Toro Rosso to be holding him up for too much longer. Mike might be able to make the move on the DRS then start and finish.
Well, we are on board with him now. He can't. I don't think he's close enough to make that move.
He's mode 5. There's just no room to do it.
There isn't, and that's the problem. There is no room. He's trying to get through here. As I said, this was there is another opportunity coming up to Beau Rivage. So he had a little look-see. Again, you can see he's trying to look down the right-hand side. But to make that work, you've got to be hitting that apex a lot earlier ahead of that car. And again, down here through Mirabeau, round the hairpin. David just making Mirabeau Bass coming down now into Poitiers. Now, is he going to look to go on the? I think he's going to try and risk it and go on the dirty side here if he can.
Yeah, you know, Eddie, this may actually be tactical from the Toro Rossos as well, because Hans in the other Toro Rosso is rapidly closing up to Sanders now as well.
Yeah, indeed, Hans van der Berg is closing down that 6, nearly 7 second gap.
Jamie Claine's retired. Turn 1.
Oh, yes, look at that. You can just see it there as they're coming up towards turn 2, Beau Rivage. And he's just gone out there. Yeah, oh, what a shame. What a shame for Jamie Claine. I don't know if he's going to be on track when Nishay gets round. But what a shame. That was out of 1, and he clearly got out of shape out of turn 1. Sander Beau coming up towards Beau Rivage just went straight into the barrier, and he's still there. Yeah, right there, you can see it. That's what happened there, wasn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Safety car. We've got a safety car.
We have got a safety car. Damie was in the pit as well.
Now, this is going to be very interesting indeed. For those of you that... oh, sorry, I've still got this. Oh, God, I've got to stop doing that. For those of you unfamiliar, Basically, what happens is with the safety car comes out, everybody lines up behind the safety car. It's not like virtual safety car where you have to maintain a gap. You can close right down to the cars ahead of you, and it gives a fantastic opportunity for the field to close down. This is going to be very, very helpful indeed to Damie Hartman.
Yeah.
And Baz,
absolutely.
and Baz Dembrain as well.
And Baz, and indeed Nicky.
Yeah.
Look at the gap right now. Baz is actually coming into the pit. That's he's surely going on to the hard tyres, and he's going to see this race out.
Well, I don't know. No, he's gone on to an 11-lap-old set of mediums. Oh no, he has gone. No,
yes, it's come off. Oh, it's a new wing as well.
He's gone on softs. Sorry, he's going on softs. That's what I thought he'd do. He's gone on softs because he wants to get through this field. He's going to push and push hard. So Van Brayen is really sending out a big old message there, going onto those soft compound tyres.
He hit the wall on the pit exit.
No! And he's got damage. He's lost his right end plate. I think he has. Hang on, let's have a look here.
Yeah. I saw it come flying off.
Oh, he is just going to be... Oh, he's going to be spitting nails, isn't he?
Yeah, Sanders in the pit as well, by the way, just come out on the set of mediums. I don't think they'll go to the end, still 46 laps to this race to go.
Just trying to see if I can see that damage on that McLaren. Yeah, I think he's lost the front right end plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, front right end plate has gone off that McLaren. Not what he was looking to do. Visser, he's... now, what's Visser going to do? Is he going to stay out? He does, so Visser stays out. Dronig, he's in P4. Hartman, P3. They need to close down. Hans van der Berg is with... Now, this is the fun bit. Hans van der Berg is with the safety car, but if you look behind him, he's got, I think, Stappers... No, Donkel, Tyson, Nishay Mahendra Singh, Marcel Dronig. I mean,
that is really helpful.
That is just like, it's like somebody, you know, sending you a magnum of champagne and a cheque for $5,000 to spend as you wish on your birthday, really, isn't it?
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, he's going to be loving these back markers being behind him, being between himself and Sander Herman there. Yeah, three cars.
Three cars. I mean, Sander Herman's, he's looking at this thinking, great, thanks a bunch. I really needed this, like I needed a whole... But and the thing is, he can't. Can he overtake them? He can't, can he?
He can't overtake them until the safety car comes in. And even then, it's going to be it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. They're going to pull aside, but it's still going to take time, and he'll lose time to Hans.
Right. So, nightmare scenario has now ensued for Sander Hermans. He's got three cars ahead of him who are back markers. Between him and number one at this moment in time, Hans van der Berg, in that Toro Rosso. He can't get past them. He can't get past them even though there's a safety car. The only advantage that he's got is that he's on a medium set of tyres that will hopefully get him past, or hope that those guys will move across rapidly, but they're unlikely to because they're fighting for position.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be an easy path.
Okay, this is going to be very interesting indeed. Obviously, Davey Harton has the same thing to contend with. He's in P3, but he's got Sander Hermans ahead of him as well. So he's actually got four cars ahead of him. And he's actually just let the Red Bull through, interestingly, of Nicky Visser. That was interesting. Okay, not too sure what that's about.
This is all on his own.
Yeah. So he's let Nicky Visser effectively unlap himself, which is interesting. Okay, so...
Visser's got puncture. And he's spun the car.
Oh, dearie me. Yeah, he has spun the car out of the swimming pool. Surely he's going to... Well, he's going to try and get round, but... Oh, dearie me. That is like... Yeah, two punctures. And What is going to be going through this Red Bull driver's mind, Nicky Visser, at this moment in time? I'm just thinking that I think he's going to seriously. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he. Well, he's a racer, so he won't retire. But I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, it'd be. It'd just be fuming inside that helmet there.
And he's going onto softs. Okay, so he's going onto softs. He's got a new nose as well. Basden praying in as well. I don't know what Brian's got. All I can see is the back of the car there.
This is, he's gone onto softs as well, De Bruyn. And that was to replace his broken wing as well. That's stop number 5 for Baz.
And Hans van der Berg still got that safety car in. That safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. So, Hans van der Berg is in that P1 position. He's in a strong position. Looking much better, obviously, for those hard compound tyres now, because they've got, some few laps under them where they haven't really got anywhere. He's got Nishay Mahadwa Singh behind him. Actually, Sander Hermans. Yeah, Sander Hermans has now moved ahead. Okay, now that's helped. So it's only Nishay Mahadwa Singh now between Sander Hermans and Hans van der Berg in that P1 position. You then got Demi Hartmann, who's behind Nicky Visser, who's unlapped himself, and Nicky Visser is behind Sander Hermans. It's all confusing, they're out of line, but it's going to make for something very interesting.
Safety goes in.
Hans van der
being
Berg
backed up now.
Backing up now, but he can go any time, surely. Now the safety car's in, he doesn't have to be flapping about. Okay, so Sander Hermans now needs to get past Nishay Mahadwa Singh. So it's going to need a little bit of cooperation there from the Renault driver.
Droning's lost half a wing. Sorry, Droning's lost half his wing. He's had a severe collision with Damie.
Oh, dearie me. Must have gone into the back of him, obviously.
Yeah.
So Sander Hermans trying to get past Nishay. I suspect Nishay will have blue flags. No, he hasn't got blue flags. No blue flags being shown for Nishay at this moment in time.
I'm seeing them now.
Oh, they are now. Yeah, he's moved across. So that was coming into the pool that the blue flags came into fight. Now, Sander Hermans is nearly 2 seconds behind Hans van der Berg, but he is on the softer compound medium tyre. He's got to charge through now. He's got no choice. If he stands any chance of standing on that top podium, he needs to get past van der Berg, and he needs to do it as quickly as he possibly can, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, so difficult to do though, as we know. Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's going to be it's pretty much advantage Hans, isn't it? Because he's on the hard tyre. I believe they can go to the end of the race. Don't think Hans is going to have to stop again. Sander will certainly have to stop. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Williams.
It is going to be very, very tough indeed. And well, right. Well, we've still got 42 laps remaining. We haven't quite reached the halfway mark yet. And it's been a race of. Right, where do I start? Actually, I can't be bothered. Adrian, you do it.
Fair enough.
Lead the way, sir.
No worries. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a difficult race for all the drivers really. We saw lap 1, turn 1 actually, 7 drivers involved in collisions. Jörg Thijssen actually sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 13.733. It's obviously one of the few drivers with fresh air and fresh tyres, beneath him. But yeah, as I said, 7 cars coming to the pit early on. That allowed Jamie Collane to actually make his way up from starting P14 and climbed right up to P5 at one point. Unfortunately lost control of the car at turn 1 and crashed out. Meanwhile you had Baz de Bruyn battling with Hans van der Berg and Sander Hermans in the reverse order to how they are right now. So under extreme pressure for the first 12 laps, and enforced an uncharacteristic error from the McLaren driver. And since then, its car seems to become magnetised to the walls. Had to stop 5 times so far this race. And it's surely going to have to stop 1, maybe 2 more times before the end of it as well.
We've got yellow flag,
It's Williamson. Oh no, and Mahadra Singh as well. Mahadra Singh's car is trapped beneath the crashed Red Bull.
Okay, well, I'm just coming down with Yul Tyson. Where was that?
No, it's with Mahadra Singh. They're coming into what's the name of that chicane?
Oh, Nouveau Chicane.
Nouvelle.
Yeah. Well, I've just gone on to Mahadra Singh, but he's loose. I don't see any damage on his front wing, so I don't quite know what happened with Boy Williamson there.
Yeah, there wasn't really that. I didn't see the crash actually with Williamson. I presume he just bounced off the wall. Yeah, and just collected Mahadra Singh, sent him into the wall. No damage on the Renault, as far as I can see. Oh, there is. Left end plate is missing. He's coming in to replace it.
Oh, Yul Tyson, he must be in the tunnel, because Yul Tyson...
Yeah, it could have been.
Or is it? No, it's not. John Cool.
Hartman's retired. Sorry, Hartman's retired.
What is going on?
From P3. Oh, and that's at the same place where Beth de Breen crashed. Same corner.
Well, okay, I can't see anything happening here. It's driving me nuts. Okay, I've got... right, yeah, I can see. Yeah. That's Damie Hartman crashed into turn 5. And, oh dearie me, he loses it in Mirabeau, the same way that Baz Dembrang just drove past. And, yeah, Dembrang driving past thinking, yeah, I did that, but not quite as bad.
Yeah, managed to get away with it.
Oh, well, what did I say? I mean, I knew that Monaco was going to claim its victims tonight. I've got to say, it was going, amazingly well, but when it happens big time. Obviously, the stats will effectively sort themselves out once the drivers unlap themselves. So Marcel Dronig effectively unlapping himself, getting past the crash car of Damie Hartman. Stapper's coming round now in turn 1, and he'll be closing down shortly on Hartman as well, and he'll take that P6 place. Yul Tyson will move up to 7. Nishay Mahadwa Singh, narrow escape, moves up to 8. But Boy Williamson and Damie Hartman both out.
Yeah, out within the space of 30 seconds of each other. Yeah, it's real big shock there.
Okay, but that still hasn't affected our front, because we've still got Zander Hermans fighting it out there with Hans van der Berg.
That's right. And look, Nicky Visser has found himself back in a podium position.
And Baz and Brian is in P4.
They say cream rises to the top, don't they?
Yeah. There's a few other things that do as well. So, we are with that battle royale. Zander Hermans, van der Berg. I've got to say, gladiatorial fight so far for this Monaco Grand Prix. Zander Hermans 1, Hans van der Berg 0.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say so. Pressure's on for Nicky Visser now, actually, to try and set some super fast lap times. He's only 7 seconds behind P2. If he can get, within just a couple of seconds of them, yeah, he can find himself with, in for a shout of maintaining his win streak.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly the possibility there, but right now, I mean, Nicky's gone from 0 to hero in about 5 minutes.
yeah, about that. And to think he had 2 punctures as well, that's ridiculous.
It is pretty crazy, I've got to say. But, Visser now, I've got to say, if I was Visser, I'd be sitting there thinking, I'm happy, I'll just stay here. Just don't hassle me, don't do anything, leave me alone, let me do my own thing. I'll happily take 15 points for this race.
Yeah, he certainly wouldn't sort of turn up his nose at that.
No, definitely not. Considering where he was, I don't think his expectation levels were too high either, to be honest, coming into this race.
No. No, as I said earlier on, it was just going to be damage limitation, really, and he was running in P5 after his incident.
Sorry. I just got to say, we missed. Sander Hermans getting ahead of Hans van der Berg. So, Hans van der Berg is now in second place. Sander Hermans didn't get past him, and it must have been on the start-finish straight.
Oh, blimey. Oh,
How did we miss that?
Overtake.
That's terrible. That's shocking. Please write to your local MP and complain. Oh no, you can't. They're all in the House of Commons trying to figure some other stuff out. So, Hans van der Berg does get overtaken by Sander Hermans. That's now released Hermans, and he's just trying to look at this. He needs to get a lot of clean air between him and Hans van der Berg right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll need to set some decent laps, which I think he will. I think he will naturally just pull away, being on those medium tyres. I mean, they're about 3/4 of a second faster than the hards.
Well, I mean, if you can do a consistent 3/4 of a second, I don't know how long. Actually, I haven't made a measure of how deep those mediums were, because I think a lot of people pitted early on them. But there were people pitting sort of laps 22, 23. I'm sure they can go deeper than that.
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, if he does 20 laps, or if he makes it to 25 laps, so 15 laps from now, and doing, pulling away by 3/4 of a second.
He's got a pit window
on each one. Yeah, it'll be within kind of that pit window. I think he might still have to overtake Hans on track again after that. I don't think he'll be able to pull out a full pit stop ahead before he comes in.
We're working on the premise, obviously, that Hans van der Berg is going to stay on those hard compound tyres. He's got 36 laps to go. That'll mean 56 laps. We were both umming and ahhing. I said, I think it's possible. It's technically possible. We've got to bear in mind, obviously, that he's got about a good four or five laps worth of wear on there, where he didn't do anything because he was under the safety car. So he is looking good, but those hard compound tyres are not going to be in great shape towards the end of this race, are they?
No, not really. Nietzsche spun the car, by the way, at sector 3. I was at the start-finish. So I nearly collected Baz de Bruyne as he come through.
Oh dear.
But
De Bruyne's probably thinking, oh God, no, not again.
And Nicky as well. He was 7.5 seconds behind P2. He's now just 1.5 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I mean those soft compound tyres. He's putting down some blinding times. You say now he's got pressure, and I was going to say surely he's going to be closing in on Van der Berg before too long, and that's exactly what he's doing now, isn't it?
Yeah. Be interested to see how he makes the pass, which he will surely have to do.
Well, I would certainly envisage that, but again, we were saying Sander Hermans obviously did make the pass. It's clearly going to, the only place in reality is on that DRS straight, but you need to make it work, you need two things, I think. You need to be, one, literally on the tail of the car you want to overtake as you're coming through Anthony Noakes, and second, you want them to go defensive, a bit like a goalie saving a penalty. You want them to go the wrong direction. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much spot on there, actually, with analysis.
So, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. He's certainly capable of it, there's no two ways about it, and he has got the tyres. He's on a soft compound tyre compared to the hard compound tyre. He's clearly got a grip and speed advantage.
Yeah, that's right, and also he's got that sort of re-energised drive, that adrenaline is pushing again, because he knows that it's still possible for him to win the race. Yeah.
Well, Monaco, one of the few places in sport where hitting the wall can really make you push harder. So let's see what Visser can do with that. I think he's a man to rise to the challenge. Look at this, he is really, really bad. I don't think he's going to make the move now, but in the next lap, he's going to close it right down. He's going to be right on the exhaust of Hans van der Berg. What can Van der Berg do? I mean, he's really... He's got to do a Ricardo, really, isn't he? He's just got to drive and make that car as wide as he possibly can.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be a bit more beneficial to him if he was actually leading the race and released Sander. But I think this could all work in Sander's favour.
Nearly quite a hole. Visser very close. Didn't quite make contact with that Toro Rosso, because he basically came to a stop going round that hotel hairpin. And this is really, it's making it certainly interesting, but also Den Brayan. I mean, Den Brayan has lost time, but I think that's more due to the fact that Visser's just opened up the valves.
Yep. Just checking the times out. But actually, De Brayan's actually gained 0.6 on him on that previous lap. Yeah. That's probably as Visser's caught up with Hans.
And now he's slowing down.
Slowing down again. Yeah.
But it's just, that suggests to me that their brain is trying to stretch out those soft compound tyres. So he's trying to get as much out of them as he possibly can. He's not pushing. He's pushing, but he's pushing within the acceptable limits of those soft compounds.
That's pretty much it. Don't really know how long those softs can go for. We saw Sander take them 19 laps or so. Oh, he's got the corner, Nicky.
Dearie me, he's got a 3-second time penalty there, and he just mounted the curb there as he was coming round the hairpin. It's a horrible, horrible turn, because it's one of those turns that you know you've basically, I was going to say something else, but you've mucked it up more or less about a split second before you actually hit that apex. You just know that your line is wrong, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh God, what do I do now?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
there's no way out of it once you start going into it.
Yeah, once you've committed, that's it.
Yeah.
So Nicky Visser trying his best, pushing hard. I mean, as I say, he's in a good place. Certainly, he's not going to lose anything today, he's not going to lose as much as he potentially could have done. Let's put it like that.
No, nowhere near. This is, if it finishes like this, I'd say this is a good result for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just worried that he's going to push that a little bit too much and make contact somewhere, which he isn't going to want to do. But these guys are all racers at the end of the day. Enough is not enough.
Never, unless you're on that top spot. Yeah, I think drivers will always keep pushing.
And it's wonderful to see, certainly from our point of view, certainly from your point of view, for those of you that are watching. Although tears can be shed at times, so we'll see what happens. If you ever want to see grown men cry, come and watch.
Nicky nearly put it in the wall there.
I was about to say, I was just looking at that. It was a real twitchy moment. Not something I think that he was trying to do, but something that unfortunately was there. It's a little bit worrying, because these soft tyres are only 13 laps old, so I think that was more of a driver twitch than a tyre twitch. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. Hermans is in the pit.
Yeah, Sander Hermans comes into the pits. He's gone on to... No, I think that's just the nose.
No, he's on worn mediums. They've put him on worn mediums.
He's gone on to 10-lap-old mediums. He was on... What was he? Hang on. Was he on? No, he wasn't. Hang on, I'm just trying to think.
I'll tell you. I'll wind the stream back. I'll tell you what he was on.
He was on mediums anyway. I'm sure he was.
Yeah, he was. He was on. Where are they? 15-lap-old mediums. Is now on 10-lap-old mediums.
Okay, so that's a little bit better. But those mediums don't seem to be wearing very well. So I'm wondering if that's an issue. I mean, he's got 30 laps remaining now. There's no way he's going to do 30 laps on those mediums. judging by the way they're going, you can maybe push them now to 25 laps. Oh, nearly makes contact with Dembrain ahead of him. Dembrain slows it down.
Nicky's in the pit. Nicky's in the pit after 14 laps.
So clearly, the wear on these tyres is heavy around this Monaco track. So they've got 39 laps remaining. My God, it's relentless. This is a real tough one, isn't it?
It is. Oh, Nicky's come out behind Sanders, so he's going to have to. Yeah, it's this.
He's on a fresh set of softs.
Carry on where he left off.
So he's on a fresh set of softs. Dembrain now has moved up to P2, but I'm sure he's going to be coming in before long off those softs. But saying that, he hasn't been pushing them as hard as Visser. Maybe he can get another 2 or 3 laps out of them. So he's been driving a little bit differently to Visser.
Well, yeah, I mean, Visser was pushing hard to make up the gap. But once he reached him, he was actually in mode 0, and I presume in lean on the fuel as well, because he had 100% ERS for long periods. So yeah, he just was sort of no longer pushing.
Just wonder how Dembrain. I mean, if he comes in now, this is tough. This is tough because Van der Berg, I'm sure Van der Berg's going to have to pit. The more I look at it, I'm thinking 38 laps. He's already done 28 laps. Sorry, 28 laps. He's already done 28 laps. He's done half the way. 56 laps total. I just think it's a bridge too far.
Yeah, it could be. Sanders certainly hoping Baz was going to come in at the end of that lap. I'm sure he doesn't want to see the McLaren ahead of him.
Well, no, but what can he do? It's tough. Herman's obviously now he can't. It's going to be a tough move. One, you got Dembrain. 2, he's on a soft compound tyre. But yeah, I'd say if I was Herman's right now. Get yourself lined up maybe for a move into 1 out of Nogues down the start-finish straight, as he did on Hans van der Berg. But, I suspect the Brain's going to be coming in, but I just don't think it's going to be this lap. I think he's going to stay out probably until end of next lap, actually. Maybe lap after that.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
We'll see. Oh, Neil Tyson setting the fastest time of 1:13.6.
And that's on the mediums. That's some 10-lap-old medium tyres.
Sanders is trying to get a look in, but Dembrain going defensive. He's going to look again as they're coming up here to Beau Rivage, but no. Dembrain just keeping that in the centre of the track, so not an awful lot Hermans can do about it at this stage of the game.
No. Nicky's actually over 2 seconds faster than anyone in the top 6 right now.
That's certainly going to help him, but he's going to catch up to the back of Hermans, who's on the back of Dembrain. So it's just going to come to a grinding halt again. It's a bit like a, sort of.
So I just saw Hermans bounced off the wall at the before the tunnel.
Yeah, there. He's has he got front wing damage?
No, he clipped it with his rear wheel as he come around and cut the corner a bit too much on the exit.
Quite see that, so yeah, not great for him. But this is the battle, though. I mean, this is the thing now. I'm looking at this now, and there's 5 drivers there that could quite easily win it. It depends on what happens on track, but.
Sanders lost it. Sorry, Sanders lost it at the out of Rascaz and Nuva.
And Nicky Visser is now on his tail. Now this is great for Nicky Visser. He's Sander Hermans has done the work for him, which he was hoping.
And Hans has come in. Hans has come in for medium tyres.
So Van der Berg is in for medium tyres. He's come out. He is P4, Visser is P3, Sander Hermans is P2, but Visser's closed right down to him. this is now Nicky Visser, Sander Hermans line astern, 1, 2 and 3. Hans van der Berg still 13 seconds behind him. And yeah, not where he wanted to be. Dronig, another 13 seconds behind him. Stapper's 33 seconds behind. Jewel Tyson still in there. Nishay Mahadwa Singh still in there. He's in P8. John Donkel, P9. So everybody taking the points home at this moment in time. Bras de Brey though under pressure again from Sander Hermans. It's a bit of deja vu, I think, from Bras de Brey in there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's for P1 yet again.
Hermans squirming out of turn 1. Visser now is right there with him. And please no.
It's complete deja vu.
Yeah, please no. 5-second penalty for John Dunkel. It's just these guys are so close at this moment. I mean, they should be, obviously, but it's like, I must admit, I'm sitting here squirming somewhat.
You can see it happening, can't you?
I don't want to even think it. I don't even want to think it. I just
it's already happened once.
Yeah, I know, but you know, now I know what that gypsy feels like when she looks into the crystal ball and tells you. Oh! And Hermans got damage. End plate hit the wall as he was just coming round turn 12 to back and made contact there. He's lost the end plate. He's staying out, but that is not going to help him. And I'm sure Visser saw that flying off, so he's going to know. I'm sure Jeff is going to be on the radio telling him that the car ahead, Sander Hermans, does have damage, front wing damage, and that is doubly bad for Sander Hermans. One, because he's in that dirty air of Bas den Breyen, and that's going to make it even more difficult. Two, because he's got Nicky Visser on his tail, just waiting for him to make a mistake so he can get past him.
Yeah, this is like a shark. You can smell the blood of the Williams ahead, and yeah, he wants him now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be looking to try and get past him as soon as he possibly can. Stapper's picking up 3-second time penalty. A few time penalties being incurred by the drivers here this evening, but well, no great surprise, to be honest with you. It is the toughest track, undoubtedly, of the season. Nicky Visser in that P3 position, 6/10 off the back of Sander Hermans. Sander Hermans 5/10 off the back of Den Breyen, who's in first place. This is a real fight here for 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's great stuff, isn't it? Great stuff. 54 laps in, and we're in a situation like this where we've got 3 cars within a second of each other, all battling for P1.
Yeah, well, we may be 55 laps in, but we've still got 23 laps remaining. So
yeah,
it is, you know, definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. All F1 circuits have got to be at least 305 kilometres.
Which is fine when you're travelling at over 200 miles an hour.
That's right.
You know, these guys, you've got to remember, these guys on this track, albeit obviously the acceleration window is somewhat diminished in these cars, but they're basically not travelling any faster than your average saloon car can.
No, I suppose not.
So, you know, from that point of view, oh God, this is just so close. Oh,
Hermans with a penalty as well. Just then, cut the corner. That was at the back as well.
This is just so close at this moment in time. There really is. And that's whisker, not just between Sander Hermans and Van der Breyen, because look at this. I mean, it's just like, it almost looks like they're on bungee. You know, because he suddenly pulls away and he suddenly closes down, and then he pulls away and then he closes down. It's like, it's scary stuff to be watching, I've got to be honest with you.
Baz's lap times are really starting to fall away now.
Well, he's on 22 lap old soft. Surely he's got to come in, and this is what Hermans is, you know, praying for at this moment in time. but he's got Nicky Visser on a nice, well, say fresh soft. I mean, 7 laps, they are pretty fresh in comparison to the cars ahead of him. He's just, as you say, he is a shark in a pool of minnows, just selecting really which tasty morsel to go for.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think we're starting to see. So obviously the Breen's tyres are falling away. I mean, he was setting previously 16.4s. He's now setting 17.6 on the last lap. Let's have a look what his time is. There we go, and he's in the pit now. That's sensible. Yeah. No, that's right, and I think that's just due to sort of incidents and things and safety cars and whatnot that are affecting that. So yeah, we haven't seen the full potential of the medium tyre. And speaking of which, Hans Vandenberg is the only driver in that top 3 who potentially doesn't need to pit. Yeah, and I don't really see the 2 drivers ahead of him pulling away by so much that they'll come out ahead of him when they pit. I'm trying to say that I guessed the winner right. You may have got the qualifying right, but I got the winner right. No. That's right. That's right. I wondered where you were going with that just then. And that is a philosophy that we tend to live by. Oh! He's starting to crack. Yep, that's it. Just played the waiting game, and we saw Sander make a couple of mistakes about 5 or 6 laps ago. As he sort of cut the corner at Portier, but he's really starting to crack now. Yeah, still work to do for Nicky. It's not, he's got Hans to contend with, who, as we said, probably doesn't need to pit. Currently 4 seconds behind him. He's going to have to set some really fast lap times now that he's got nobody ahead. He don't. No, he hasn't got any subs left. So Herman's in the pit as well. So Visser will only have available to him the hard tyre. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, well, you know, you might as well pit now for the hard tyre. But yeah, I think under normal circumstances, yes, that would be the way. But because it's Monaco, and as we said, track position means so much. I think you'd be better off to just push these as far as they will go, and then do the last few laps on the hards. Yeah, because he's not really going to be able to do anything on those hards, i.e. overtake. So he'll have to do all the work now in these next 10 laps or so. Well, we saw Dronig. Dronig reached lap 20. Reached 20 laps on the soft tyre before he come in 2 laps ago. In fact, it was exactly 3/4 of a second faster than Hans. John Donkel's spun it at the casino, just at the end of the casino. Not a great race from John today. Yep. Yeah, it is.
And Formula 2. The electric series, of course, takes a shorter route along the harbour side and not the whole course. 1929, the first officially recognised Formula 1.
Yeah. Yep. Nicky's pace is falling off already. Just lost 4/10 on Hans that lap. Yeah, possibly. You've also got the rather unusual strategy option available to him of perhaps not pitting at all, and just pushing these tyres to 90% wear with to the at the absolute limit of as far as they can go, knowing that it's very difficult to overtake. You can do a Danny Ricciardo on really slow, extremely worn soft tyres. I wonder if that's going through his mind.
Right.
39? No, he's done 14, there's 15 left, 29. Yeah. I mean, it'll be doing about 1 minute 20s on those, but... Yeah, and actually, just to put another twist to this this plot, Nicky's got 12 seconds of penalties, and Hans has got 6 seconds. So. Yeah, that's right. And so either way, then if Nicky pits in, he won't win, and if he stays out, he won't win, because Hans will just close up the gap, sit behind him, doesn't even have to overtake, and will take the win. Yeah, I don't know. I don't truly know why I picked Hans. I know he's a brilliant driver, and I'm really pleased that he's in this position. But yeah, it just felt like it was going to be him. It was going to be the time for his first win. Quite right. Fair enough. Spread the love. Donkel spun at Razkaz. He's got a puncture and no front wing. Oh, I thought someone was gonna be coming around that corner just then. Droney led a few laps as well. Yeah. Yeah, he seems to relish in that. I don't know how he's done it. 2 punctures in this race, and been able to pull it back. It's very, we said earlier on, deja vu. Yep. Yeah, I think he's still thinking about what happened to him earlier on, Sander. He's thinking about what could have been. He was leading this race for a long period actually, and just cracked under the. Perhaps there's a mixture of the pressure and and his tyres wearing out. Oh, left the session. Eddie Suarez, yellow flags at the moment. Just check your mic for me. I'm getting reports you can't be heard for whatever reason.
No, I can't be heard because I didn't have my mic switched on.
Okay.
So that's why I couldn't be heard. For all of you listening, just be glad. Be glad. I was talking a lot about politics, a little bit of history. I threw in some physics as well because I thought, what the hell, why not while we're here? So I've got to be honest with you, you didn't miss much.
I think we're too busy watching the race anyway, so
we are. We're just too much enjoying this. Did they catch my breakdown? Probably not, actually. Which means I've got to do it again.
I don't think anyone's heard you since lap 29.
Really?
I don't know.
Some might consider that a bonus. In the meantime, Zander Hermans is into the pits. So Zander Hermans comes into the pits. Okay, maybe that's why he was pushing so hard. But I'm a bit confused. He's going on to the mediums, clearly, and the new nose. So, yeah, he was just making too much contact with the walls there through the tunnel. So, we've lost him there. Stappers.
Look, he's on 22 lap-old mediums. They didn't have a fresh set for him.
No. And he's got 12 laps to go.
Oh, that's going to be an absolute nightmare for him now.
It is. He's just about... Oh, he's got Mark Stappers now on the back of him, overtaking him.
Son, he's a lap ahead.
Oh, he's a lap ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't quite see what has happened. Yeah, because I saw Stappers coming up. So Stappers has just basically unlapped himself from Sonda. That's what you got to love about Monaco as well, is trying to figure out who's lapping who and unlapping who.
Yeah. Sonda's not actually controlling that car either. That was an AI pit stop.
Oh, of course, because he's under AI control, isn't he?
Yeah, bring him in and wreck his strategy and put him on really old tyres that aren't going to make it to the end.
Oh my goodness me. What is going on here? What is going on?
By the way, it looks like Nicky is trying that strategy of just staying out
to destruction
and doing a Ricardo because he's still out there. 8 laps to go. Hans is only a couple of seconds behind.
Yeah, but he's still got a deficit of 4 seconds.
6. Oh yeah, deficit of 4 seconds. Yeah, because he's got 6 penalties.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So ultimately, these. What was I say? If you missed that, by the way, you might not have caught it. Adrian, if Hans van der Berg wins, is going to be handing out the winning lottery numbers for the Euro Millions tomorrow night. You need only apply. Just give us your contact details and Adrian will simply message that to you. All we ask is for 20% of the winnings to come back to the club.
Oh, I was going to say 500 quid up front.
No, 20%, mate. 20%.
Oh.
20%. You take nothing less than 20%. I'm telling you now. So, Hans van der Berg at this moment in time, although he's in second place, if he maintains where he is, he's going to be taking the win here. Basden Brown, what a fantastic, amazing, stupendous comeback for that McLaren. I've got to say, I mean, we've seen some comebacks. Nicky Visser's done well, but I've got to say, even, the Brian's comeback is phenomenal at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous because he put it in the wall, didn't he? In lap 12 after the fight with Sander, and you kind of thought that was his race over. He's pitted 6 times in this race.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. But that's Monaco for you. It's going to deliver these types of results. But I'm sure Baz is not going to be worry too much about it, because, you know, when history looks back, all they remember is the places and the points, and that's what counts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Love
this will
that
be
camera.
one that we refer to many times, I'm sure, in the future.
Yeah,
in the,
I said it
F1
earlier,
Classic.
and I think it is. It's going to be. It is a classic. It is one to go down in the annals of F1 Tonight history without any shadow of a doubt. Because it's just been everything. Everything has happened. We've seen numerous leaders, numerous incidents. But yeah, I mean, De Bruyne, I tip my hat to him once again, because he is truly the comeback master. He really is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the most experienced drivers in the league, and yeah, certainly never gives up, even when it looks completely hopeless.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the runners and riders. We've got 6 laps remaining at this moment in time. John Dunkel coming round Rascasse into Anthony Nogues now. And I think Nishay was actually going to come out behind him. Let's have a quick look. Yes, he will. No, he won't. He is actually ahead of him on track, so he did get out of time. So let's have a look at these guys in reverse order. So John Dunkel is in P9. He will be picking up points, obviously, for finishing in that top 10. So the Ferrari driver, John Dunkel, P9. Then we have Nishay Mahad was saying, and I've got to say, another great race here from the rookie to this season 6. You know, he's had a rocky start, as is expected of the majority, the vast majority of rookies. Came back last week with a phenomenal qualification pace, absolutely brilliant. Did fantastic in the race, and you know, I think, even though he didn't complete, he certainly should be proud of the race he did last week in Barcelona. And again, he's delivered here as well. He just needs to get that racecraft, that sort of competition craft down. But he's ticking an awful lot of boxes these days.
Yep, yeah, he's given us those crucial glimpses of potential. You know, the fact that he can be quick in quali, he can race with the fastest guys in this league.
Yeah.
And you know, with time he'll be able to do that consistently and for the entire race. And so sooner or later he's going to find himself frequently on the podium.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So that's Nishay Mahad was saying he's in P8, P7. Yul Tyson, first race, started at the back of the grid. New driver to F1 Tonight, inaugural race. He is the rookie of rookies today. But look, he's hung in there. He's hung in there. He's gone for it. He's showing that grit and determination that is required. And I've got to say, if somebody were to say to me, okay, first race of your season opener is going to be Monaco, I'd tell him to pretty much take a very long run jump off the shortest pier they could find.
Yeah, it's properly thrown in at the deep end here. Fun fact, actually, is his teammate Jamie Collane, his first race was Monaco last season. I have to say, Yul Tyson's lasted a lot longer than the 3 laps that Jamie survived.
Yeah, that is very true indeed. So Yul Tyson there in 7th place. 6th place, Mark Stappers, and I've got to say, I was earmarking him as a good potential for a podium finish. I think he's going to be disappointed today, Adrian.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's done well. I mean, last season he finished 7th here, so I don't think he'll be that disappointed with P6.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an improvement from last year, but I get the feeling he thought he could do well, and indeed we thought he could do better as well. But it's not over yet. 3 laps remaining, but he's in 6th place. Then we have P5.
P6 for number 66.
Yeah, P6 for number 66. 666, it's the sign of the devil. Oh, never mind.
And it's season 6 racing.
All right, okay.
All right.
Don't add to it, all right? Don't add to it. Enough. By the way, quickly, get down to your nearest 24-hour shop. Get as many tinned goods as you possibly can. Anyway, Sander Hermans is in P5. Yeah, I mean, a race where he's been inspired and transpired, I guess you could say.
Perspired.
Perspired,
Me as
yeah. Well, it was inspired, but then he perspired and transpired.
Yeah, Sanders had everything happen today. Yeah, I mean, he was fighting with debris to the point where he actually caused him. No, not caused him, but he applied pressure to him and forced him to make a mistake.
He cracked
which he
that
capitalised
shell.
on.
He
That's
did
right.
crack that shell, definitely, Sander Hermans. And a fantastic race, he says. He's led the way, cracked the shell. I mean, okay, he's not where he wanted to be, but I think he can still be proud of the race that he's done today.
Yeah, I think he can. Yeah. I mean, I certainly wouldn't turn my nose up at P5 at Monaco.
No.
But I just try not to dwell on what could have been. He knows he had the pace, he had the whole package to be able to win here. Yeah. But just unfortunately cracked under pressure himself as well, and the tyres just didn't hold out for him.
Indeed. Right, Sander Hermans P5. P4 though, his teammate Marcel Dronig. He's kept his nose clean throughout. We haven't really spoken about him. We mentioned him in the early stages. He's just been in there. He's just been plugging away, doing his thing. And look where that's put him. It's put him in P4. Thank you very much. I love that. And I will gladly take those 12 points, sir.
Yeah, I believe this is the first race he's performed better or finished higher up than his teammate.
Yeah.
So yeah, very well done. Very well done there. As I said, we haven't really talked about him. Nothing's really happened to him. He's just kept himself out of trouble. Led a few laps while people were on pit stops, and has been able to run his strategy.
Yeah, he's done well. He has done well. Bazden Brain, as we discussed, obviously in that P3 place. But look at this. Nicky Visser is in P2. So Nicky Visser, obviously pitted. He's come in. He's come out P2. He'll take the points. It's not. It's no loss for him. I think he's done fantastically well today, and he's going to pick up that second place. He's going to pick up those 18 championship points. He's still going to be clearly ahead, so no great shakes. But Hans van der Berg, well, van der Berg now coming round Casino, down towards Mirabeau Haute, 78th lap, final lap of this season 6, race 6 here at Monaco. And well, what can you say, Adrian? You called it early doors. I've got to say I was sceptical, as can probably be deduced from our conversation. But look, fair play. You called it. Fantastic run for Hans van der Berg. I mean, it hasn't all gone his way. It hasn't been the best of his races, but he's managed to pull it off, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's managed to keep his. That's what it's all about, Monaco. Just keeping your nose clean, keeping your head down, and just maintaining focus. I know he's about to finish the race here, so I'll just hand over to you, Eddie, and I'll talk about him a little bit more afterwards.
He's coming across the line now, round the final quarter. Hans van der Berg will take the win here in Monaco. What a fantastic result for him. I know he's going to be very, very happy with that. Second place as Nicky Visser as he comes round now through over the start-finish line. Nicky Visser picking up third place. And then Bazden Brain as he comes round Raskas. Through Anthony Noakes on to the start-finish straight, will take third place. Great result as well from Baz, I've got to say. Well, it's been a fantastic race overall, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I mean, I know we were saying early, weren't we, that it's such a long race, and it's difficult sometimes to maintain the commentary. But I think it was pretty exciting. We had quite a lot happening. We had that safety car, we had race leaders crashing out, we had comebacks. Yeah, it was a bit of everything here.
Yeah.
Only thing missing was rain.
Yeah, we have had some phenomenal comebacks, I've got to say. And yeah, I mean, it has. I've got to be honest with you. It's making it because obviously normally at this time we have the driver of the day. We'll go through the podium, and then I think we'll have a little chat around that. But Hans van der Berg takes the win here in Monaco for season 6. Very happy bunny indeed. But Nicky Visser for Red Bull takes second, maintaining his championship lead. But Baz den Bruijn in a McLaren, yeah, great race. They've all done recoveries, but I've got to say, I think Baz, yeah, definitely had it.
Yeah, fantastic drive from Baz den Bruijn. Yeah, 6 pit stops, as I said, in that race for him. Bounced off the wall numerous times and has still managed to recover to P3. Absolutely remarkable.
I mean, you know, he started P1, he lost it, fell right to the back of the grid, 6 pit stops. Equally, Nicky Visser, though, 6 pit stops. Oh, actually, yeah, I can see what you're saying now.
16 pit stops for John Donkel, by the way.
Oh, my goodness. I can see what you're saying, and must admit, I've got to be honest with you, Adrian, I think I will go with your suggestion there, having a look at it, and I've got to say, it was a close call. I was going to say Baz den Bruijn, but looking at it, I agree with you. I think Nicky Visser will take driver of the day today.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, he was P4 for the majority of the start. Got collected by Baz den Bruijn after his incident at turn 5 on lap 12. A complete passenger in that, completely lost his wing. Wrecked his strategy, had to drop all the way back down to, I think he went down to about P10, and then he come in a couple of laps after that as well, I believe. But yeah, he's managed to fight his way back up, and then as other drivers DNF'd ahead of him, you know, you could see him pushing harder and harder, as you know, and his eyes opening wider, as you know, you could see that there was still a big possibility of him winning that race.
No, I totally agree with you there, Adrian. Totally agree with you. I mean, it's a fantastic result, a great job. Hans van der Berg takes the win. Visser comes in second, then Bruijn third. But yeah, fantastic job. Driver of the day, definitely Nicky Visser, although he was very close to den Bruijn. And next week, Adrian, where are we next week? We're moving continents again, aren't we?
We are. We're in Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, same language. Just a few thousand miles difference, that's all. So, yeah, we will be in Montreal, Canada, circuit Jacques Villeneuve, and very much look forward to that. So, same time, not the same place. It will be Thursday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. And if you thought this was exciting, guess what's happening on Tuesday? Yes, F1 Tonight UK, and they will be here at Monaco. So tune into that Tuesday night, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Central European time. But in the meantime, it's time to say goodbye.
Good night from me.
Good night, everyone. Take care.